I see a light, but I hear no voice.
Really helps when I unmute my mic.
Yeah,
It really does.
it's really helpful. And if anyone wants to take place or take part in the discussion, feel free to join the Discord server. That helps us spell it correctly. Gonna be one of those days. There we go. So you can click on that link and join the Discord. If you want to take place in the conversation, just be aware that you do need a mic. People are going to see your name flashing up there on the upper left-hand corner of the screen. As you can see, it says Gimpy right now because I'm talking. I will add your name into the upper right-hand corner there where it says tonight's guests. So keep that in mind. And also, we're not going to be doing a bitch session, meaning that if you want to criticize what's going on and stuff, you're welcome to, but statements like that sucks and that's it, that's not what we're going for. We're going for that sucks and the reason is, or the reasons are, that's what we're going for. We're not going for this sucks, or this needs to be removed, that kind of stuff. If you can't back up what your position is, don't participate. It's that simple. Try to be fair here as much as possible, and just bitching and moaning about stuff and not having a reason for it, it's not helpful to anybody. Hey, Mechs, welcome back. So, if you're not talking about puppies, then I'm not totally interested. Oh, Mechs, we'll talk about puppies, or maybe we'll talk about cougars. I don't know. So, anyway, like I said, if you do the Discord thing, just say something, either whisper me here and no, don't whisper me. Say something in chat. Just go, hey, just use the @Gimpy21 so I recognize it, and then we'll get you moved over into the right spot. Because we are in a private room. That way not just anybody can jump in and start talking. So, okay. So today, I guess we should talk a bit general. Talk about cougars, puppies. Sure, that'll work. So, as you can see, the agenda is up on the screen, and basically the way it's going to work, we're just going to talk about various things, likes, dislikes, about the mechs themselves, the weapon systems, any other technologies such as light engines or the stealth armor or whatever, anything that's involved in the patch that came out last Tuesday. That's what we'll be discussing that, and if we have enough time, we'll get to the skill tree and anything else, and then we'll go from there, see how it goes. Hey, Jeff. Yes, we just started a couple minutes ago. Just started. You're on Discord, Pop? I'll go. There. I do not see... Oh, there you are. Okay, Pop, I just gave you permission to get into the channel, so all you need to do is get over to the general channel and then head on down to the fireside chat. And you should be good to go. You can't rat and back it up at the same time. I'm only 3 people. What? That makes no sense, Aeolus. That makes no sense.
Hello, Gimpy. Don't.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to the fireside chat. Okay, I guess we should get started. I don't have all night. So, first things first. I don't know if this is not on the agenda, simply because we don't have a whole lot of information about it, other than it is happening. And for those of you who have not heard, Harmony Gold is suing. They are suing Harebrained Schemes, PGI, and Jordan Wiseman. We don't know exactly what they're suing for because it's not public record yet. We just know that there's a court case that has been, or a suit that's been filed up in the state of Washington. Apparently it happened earlier this year, but for whatever reason it's been somebody just found it recently, within the last couple of days. That's all we really know. That's all we really know. So, yep. Yeah, what took them so long exactly, Jeff? So, just so you guys know, there is a lawsuit out there, Harmony Gold, and for those of you who don't know, Harmony Gold is the company that distributed Robotech, the anime series, back in the early 80s here in the United States. They are very litigious as far as people using images that involve Robotech. If you'd like the full story, let's see if I can find it. I had it up on my screen earlier. Okay, we'll just give you the whole deal on Harmony Gold. They're not, the thing is they are not an actual movie production company. They seem to think they are, but they're really not. All they basically do is they license other big people's products, and that's it. But if you'd like to learn no more about them, there's there. The whole issues regarding the Macross / Robotech is down near the bottom of the wiki page. Just check it out. You can see. You can also, of course, just Google it up, and you can, I'm sure, dig out some more information if you really want to. So, that's that. Lawsuit. We don't know, and what's it going to do? We don't know. They were on vacation. No, I don't think so. Anyway, so let's get started. Is the music too loud? Just turn it down just a little bit. It's hard for me to tell sometimes. Okay, so first things first, we'll start with the mechs. There's 4 mechs that came in with the Civil War. The Annihilator, a 100-ton assault mech for the Inner Sphere. A Mad Cat Mark II, which is an 85 or a 90-tonner for the clans.
It's a 90-tonner.
It's a 90-tonner for the clans, and it's not an Omni mech. It's a regular battle mech, meaning that you can swap out the engine, give it endo, Pharaoh, all the fun stuff. There's also a Cougar, which is a 35-tonner light for the clans.
Yep, I believe so.
Okay. That is an Omni mech, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
And then the Inner Sphere also got the Uziel, which is a 50-ton medium. So, where should we start when we go alphabetical?
Start at the heaviest and work our way down?
Sure, we'll do that. Okay. Let me get the MechWarrior screen up. And what we'll do is we will actually show stuff right here on screen. Got MechWarrior loaded up, ready to go. Turn that thing off. There we go. Okay, so we're all set. No, I forgot to add a pop in here. Just a second. Gotta give everybody credit for being here. Not that you could get anything for it, but... Let's see if I can screw up his name. I don't think I did. I think I got it right. Okay, I think we're good. So, the Annihilator, 100-tonner for the Inner Sphere. It is a big monster. It's it's very tall. It's basically the tallest mech in the game. The Atlas only comes up to about, the top of the Atlas head is about right where the base, that little opening right there, that's basically the top of the Atlas head. Atlas used to be one of the tallest, if not the tallest. Maybe the Grasshopper might be a little bit taller now, but
I think actually the Black Knight was the...
Black Knight is tallest?
Almost the Atlas.
Yeah, with the little antenna it had, I think it was,
Okay.
it was taller.
Okay. So, like I said, the Atlas head goes right up there. Now, it does look like these weapons are high-mounted, which they kind of are in the chest. Physically, I mean, distance from the ground, yes, they are high off the ground, but relation to the cockpit, which is very... Now, you can't really see that because I have that stupid thing up top. Where is it? There it is. Okay, that's better. No, we don't have anything blocking up there. So as you can see, the cockpit is right here at the very top. That's it right there, that little rectangle. That's the cockpit. So even though these guns on the chest are fairly high off the ground, because the cockpit is so high, you still have, in order to peek over a ridge, you have to get pretty high up there. You know, even if you can see over the top of a ridge, if you fire any of these guns, you're going to be putting them into the ground. So you have to take that into consideration, and of course the arms are even lower. Now, what this means, when you compare it to the other 100-tonners, it's kind of weird. You have to play to to realize it's kind of weird, because this is a pretty big spacing for weapons. And again, this is just this particular variant. I mean, but I think all of them have the higher side mounts, and then you have the arm mountings that are lower down by the hip. So it makes for a little bit of getting used to. But you're not going to really be peeking and poking too much over hills with an Annihilator in the first place, simply because they are prone to headshots, apparently. I haven't been headshot in one yet, but from what I'm hearing, they're fairly easy to headshot. And so if you're peeking over a hill, and if somebody's paying attention, they see that little screen come up over there, they're probably going to shoot you right in the face, and there's not a damn thing you're going to be able to do about it. So
I think you should go around the hill rather than poke the hill.
Right. Yeah, they're one of those mechs, similar to the Atlas, where they're not good at peeking over hills. They're better about going around corners. That's what their preferred probably play style is going to be. So, what are your guys' opinions on the Annihilator so far? Any?
It is a devastating mech if you. It is a devastating mech if it catches you unaware. It can destroy you it can destroy any mech in a second.
Yes, they are. I'll just show the different hard points.
But if you can catch it in a light or even a fast medium, you can pretty much run around it and core it from the back.
Yeah.
So all of them except for the hero and then 1E have a minimum of 4 ballistic hardpoints. And those hardpoints are side torsos and the arms. Now there's one of them. Where's the one with the 6?
One of them has 5, doesn't it, or something?
Yeah, one of them, the 1A has 5, the 2A has 6.
The hero has 6 as well, or no?
No, the hero has no ballistics. It's only got 6 energy and 4 missile.
Energy, that'd be different. Gotcha.
And then, like I said, this is the 2A. What's the other one is running?
I don't know if it was in your stream or somebody else's stream I was watching, Gimpy. I saw a guy had 4 LBX-10s and 1 LBX-20, I think.
That wasn't me.
Been running around in it.
That wasn't me.
No, it wasn't somebody using it. It was somebody else's build that they were fighting.
Oh.
And I think they were going all of like 30 kph with that build. But the amount of guns you could put on that, if you can get them in the right place at the right time, seems like it could be pretty wicked. It's just, if you're out of position, you're way out of position.
Yeah, that's their downside. Their engine max is 300, which means 52 kph. That's before speed tweak. That's not, that's direwolf speed. So you be aware of that. But they do kind of make up for it because they do have armor quirks. They have a bunch of armor quirks.
They have the same armor quirks that the Atlas D has.
Okay. So, like I say, it's CT 31, side torsos are 26, arms are 10, legs are 10. There's nothing for well, you don't need a head. But what this means is, if you get the armor quirks, or not the armor quirks, the armor skill tree, you get the 10% bonus from that. You can get the CT up above, what, 150 something, 160, somewhere around there. So, and especially if you, like I play, for most people's thoughts, I play pretty heavy back armor, and that's because I have this really bad tendency to get shot in the back by my teammates. But like I said, if you just change these values around a little bit more, you boost this up another 10%. That's what, 155, something like that. I don't know. It's pretty bad. It's a lot of armor, but as Pop said, it's the same as the Atlas D, and I believe it's the K in the RS. I think have the same armor quirks. Maybe.
I don't know about the RS and K. I don't even have them.
Oh, okay. I think they do. I think they are the same. Let me look at them real quick, just for comparison purposes. So the K's got 31 and 21. So that D actually does have more. The RS 31 and 28. So the RS and the D are the ones with the 31 and the big armor bonuses, just like the Annihilators. The K's got armor bonuses, but not quite as good. That's not a big deal. So, 100 tonner. It can be very nasty. Especially with the 4 ballistic hard points. I mean, even some of these guys stock aren't too bad. There's one with 4 LEX-10s. Yes, they are very, very,
The
very
slow is the big thing. I think with LFEs, if you can fit them in there with whatever you've got beside torsos, you're probably doing better off with those than leaving them stock engine for sure.
Yeah, well, like this, the 1X stock does 32 kph. It's got a standard 200 in it. But you could throw just this loadout alone. You have to take a little bit of a adjustment here, but what you just take out these double heat sinks and move the ammo, of course, and you put a light engine in here, and you probably fit it. Yeah, you can fit a light 300 in this, pretty sure. So, but yeah, they're fun. They're definitely fun. Very sluggish.
I've been really impressed with the UAC 220 for the IS so far, so I can see them using that.
I just love the UF20 in a truck.
I put mine in my Bounty Hunter 2, the hero mech for the Marauder, and it's actually really fun.
Alright, so enough of the Annihilator. Move on. Okay, there's the other one is the Medcat 2. This is a big one for a lot of people. This is the Clan Battle Mech. It is not an Omni Mech, it's a Battle Mech, meaning that you can change the engine, the Pharaoh, the Endo, whatever you want to do. Basically it's customizable, but the hard points are fixed. And this is a 90 tonner, right? Yes, 90 tonner. So, now as far as loadouts go for these guys, you can be fairly creative here. This is the hero. I'm just running 2 UAC 10s and 6 medium pulses, and it does fine. It does actually pretty good. And it's running an Excel 360, so it does 62 kph, no speed tweak. Sorry, 64 kph, no speed tweak. So it... I don't know. The Madcat 2 is very capable. It's a 90 tonner. Got plenty of armor, lots of firepower, very customizable. I haven't found any real significant issues with them. The little time that I have put into them, I don't have any real issues with them. It doesn't. You would think they have a big hitbox here, but it doesn't seem like they do. Their CT seems to be a little big, but it's not that bad.
The arms are really nice on them because of the way that they shield the side torsos. That's like they're amazing shield arms, even though that they're kind of like that gun style, you know, where they don't really have an elbow. It's really nice.
One of them does, though.
One of them does?
Yeah, one of them's got an elbow.
Does it change the geometry or no?
No.
Of the actual model?
Nope.
See, that's the thing, is that it doesn't change that, so it's still a big shield arm.
Yeah, they're as you can see a little bit better on this. The black that's covering up all the green there, I mean, that's a pretty good shield. So, and if the missile pods weren't there, you know, it's not bad. I mean, it's a bigger Madcat. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just a bigger Madcat. And
I actually never realized how skinny the legs are from the sides.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the lower part. That's pretty good.
I think they had a hot fix for something, didn't they, to fix the tiptoeing type of walk it was doing.
Yeah, they're supposed to be working on the animation. I don't know if that went in yet or not.
Yeah,
And
it's not in yet, but they're working on the animation for the whole make. It should be in the next patch, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like how it was walking, you know.
Old Onyx is saying there's 2 of them with elbows.
2 of them? Okay.
So, do we have anything spectacular about the Mad? I mean, these guys are pretty common on the battlefield, so I know a lot of people were looking forward to them, and I don't think they disappoint.
And I don't play clan mechs, but I saw somebody write something about how the ears on the missile, ears.
The missile
on,
launchers.
Mark II don't show up until you fill up all the missiles or something, or the other way around. Like it was whatever the regular Madcat is, it was the opposite.
Yeah, I think if you put like an SRM 2 on the Madcat 2, it fills up the shoulder one first.
Instead of the big ear-mounted one or whatever.
Yeah, the ear one gets modded first, I think.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Oh, so they're just saying they're just.
It was something like that where it doesn't do the same. It doesn't fill out the same way as the regular Mad Cat, the Timberwolf does. So I think that's interesting, but I don't know. Like when it doesn't have the ears, to me, it doesn't even look like a Mad Cat in the first place. It looks like a really tall ebon jaguar or something.
Yeah, it does
You know,
actually.
like-
I just put an ATM 3 and an ATM 12 in it, and the 3 is the top pod. It looks funny.
Okay, yeah.
But that's the way I put it in too.
Okay.
So it's not. So that was.
And and that led to a whole discussion on Reddit about how we should be able to pick exactly where the weapon goes as far as hard points that are in the same location.
I don't see what the issue is because I just took the 3 out and put it back in, and the 12 went up top and the 3 went down.
Right, but I guess some mechs you could put it in every which way from Sunday, but unless you put like a small laser in first and then take it out, like if an
Oh, yeah,
arm has
that-
got 2 energy,
Yeah,
you put
that's.
the small laser in first, you put the PPC in, you take the small laser out, and then it will stay in the top one, but only sometimes, and if the stars are aligned or something like that.
Yeah, there's some mechs that are like that, but there's a reason for that too. Is because what people are trying to get the high mounts, and
Yeah.
and some mechs just don't have them though. Because PGI did that on purpose with some of the mechs. I know that was done on purpose. It wasn't necessarily a bug. It was intentionally done that way because they knew what the problems were going to be if they did that. So, but why they do it for some and not others, I don't know. I just know that in some mechs, it's very, if you put an AC-20 in their side torso, it's going to be low. No matter what you do, it's going to be low.
Right.
And that's a good thing. I know a lot of people don't like that, but that's a good thing. So.
Well, to me, it becomes arbitrary because then they release mechs with high mounts that completely negate the power level of whatever they were trying to do with the other one.
Yeah.
It's like they released a roughneck that has really high shoulder ballistic mounts, and then it's like, well, why?
Because they're trying to make them appealing and viable. Some mechs don't need it so much.
I guess.
It is. I mean, that's the reason they do stuff like that is because they know. Otherwise, what's the purpose behind getting a roughneck if you don't give it little stuff like that? It's just another mech with ballistics that are low.
Well, the more mechs they add, the more irrelevant a lot of mechs become.
I know.
Though. So it's,
I totally agree. I totally agree. I'm just showing the other side of that conversation is there's a reason why sometimes they do things, but why they don't do it all the time, I don't know. I don't work for them, so I don't know. Yeah, Kodiak 3, we know, Calvier. We didn't mention that on purpose. So
I haven't actually seen that many Kodak 3s already.
I haven't had many Kodiaks at all lately, to be honest.
it's because isn't it because they unsynced the engine thing, so they're not as agile. Isn't that the reason why?
That's what I heard.
I think it must be because the Ghost hit with the UACs and the engine desync. It really didn't do any favors for the Kodak 3.
Right, but even after they added the ghost heat for the 10s, I still saw a lot of people running the 2.5s and 2.10s that did really well. And that's not really affected by the ghost heat as much. So.
Right, but then now you've got the Mad Cat Mark II, you've got all these other mechs that.
There's a ton. There's a ton of mechs to choose from anymore. So I mean that's part of the issue. Like I said, I have 339 mechs now, and I can't play all of them at once. So, and I'm sure other people are in the same boat. They have 100. I mean, once you get over 20 mechs in your mech bay, you can't really play them all the time. You have to pick and choose.
Right.
So you may not be in the mood to play a Kodiak today. So one less person playing a Kodiak. Maybe you're playing a Direwolf or an Annihilator or something else instead. I mean, that's just the way it works. Once you get, like I said, I have 339, and there's actually how many different chassis out there. It's like
Right.
50, 60. It's huge.
I was talking about this very fact the other day. It's like if you had some kind of stimulus to play those mechs, especially if you were Ghost Bears and the Kodiak. You know, the Kodiak is kind of their bread and butter, right? So what if they in faction play, you know, for Ghost Bear, if you had a Kodiak or any of those mechs that were appropriate for that faction, you got double XP on it. You think that would change people's opinion on those mechs like that? I always wondered about that.
It might. And I just got up to Evan Jaguar. In my particular mech lab here, I got up to Evan Jaguar, and there's 20 mechs above it. And that's not even close to being halfway through my list. And I don't have everything. So we're talking probably 70, 80 mechs that people can choose from. So that's why you see mechs change. You know, they go out of favor for whatever reason, whether something new came out or they're not, or whatever. You know, so many different reasons. Hey, Nendo, welcome back. Tommaso, welcome back. -3. Oh, we're talking about the lawsuit apparently a little bit in chat.
Oh yeah.
A little bit. So, should we? Now that we have a
Mark
little
II
bit.
though, it looks like a solid mech. It just, I don't think it's. To me, it doesn't look like it's anything special, but it does have nice high mounts that lend well to that weight class, I guess.
Right,
I can
and-
see it. Like I could see people using it over the Kodiak.
Right, and you bring up a really good point about the mounts, and especially when you compare it to the Annihilator, which where we were talking about how the cockpit is so high and the weapon mounts are so low.
Right.
Then you look here at the Mad Cat 2 and you go, oh look, everything is even with the cockpit or higher.
Right.
So that makes this thing a better hill poker. Is that
Might as well be a rifleman, right? I mean, it's dang near
Yeah.
that kind of.
it's pretty
all
damn
even
close.
with it.
Yeah, it's real close to being, you know, riflemen's are right there at the side of the cockpit as well, maybe a little bit higher. But yeah, definitely this is a good mech. It really is, and we expected it to be. I don't think anybody really expected it to be DOA. If anything, it's the exact opposite.
Right.
And tonnage-wise, let's see. For the clan side of things, what's the other 90 tonner? The Marauder 2C, or is that's 85?
Yeah, Marauder.
85. So the Supernova.
Yeah.
Supernova's a 90.
Which I've seen a couple of those around.
Yeah, they faded out real quick, didn't they?
Well, no, I've seen them back around more than the Kodiak, at
Really?
least on my end
Okay.
when I've been playing. And a lot of them are using Bodhi type tactics, but that Supernova, I mean, it's Supernova.
Yeah.
It lends itself to that.
So basically, the clans are actually doing really well in the assault category here because they've got the Direwolf at 100, they got the Kodiak at 100, Highlander 2C at 95, or no, that's a 90 as well. Yeah, so like I said, they've got a 200s, a couple of 90s, a couple of 95s, or 190. Oh, sorry, the Executioner's out there too.
Mhm.
So they're doing pretty well in the assault side of things, and they're all pretty decent, I think. I mean, the Highlander 2C is probably the stepchild of the group, but it's still capable. It's still capable. It's still clan tech, so they're fine. Okay. So anything else about the Mad Cat 2?
Wait, does it have a jump jet model?
Yes,
I didn't know about that. Does it?
It does have jump jets.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't go over that, but yes, they do.
Is it only? Well, it doesn't have pods, so is it certain models that do have jump jets or don't?
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know anything about it because I don't have it, nor do I play clans. So it's one of those things. I didn't know if it had. I hadn't seen anyone use jump jets with it.
It does have jump jets. I know it does because I took them off. I took them off of some of them.
Yeah, right.
But
And you can break the animation in the market to
Again. Okay, that's a problem. But yeah, they need to list how many jump jet hard points are on this screen. They've got they got space for it. They really need to put it in there. But none of these. Oh, one of them's got a. the Hero has got a negative 20% UAC jam chance. I just noticed that. That
Wow.
explains that.
Well,
I
how
wondered
many
why the
ballistic
UC-10
points-
was running so well.
How many ballistic points does it have?
2. Do 1 in each arm.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, you know what everybody's going to run in that then.
Let's say I'm running 2 UAC-10s and 6 medium pulses. And I didn't do it because of the quirks. I did it because that's a cool build. So, but for some reason, maybe not all of them do have jump
capped at
jets.
3 jump jets is what Onyx says.
All of them are capped at 3? Because not all of them.
but one.
Oh, all but one.
Yeah, the 4 has 4, he says.
Ah. Because none of them, I mean, I haven't touched half of them. And
Does any of them have any Gauss quirks though? I mean, could you do the whole meta Pop Tart?
no. No, you can't do meta Pop Tart in these things. They
Yeah, I don't think it would get high enough. Would
no assault really does that. I mean, an 80 tonner I think is your best bet for even trying that. Even then, I don't think it works real well.
Pop Tart, heavy guns would be what?
Oh, that's right, the jump
It would.
distance.
What's the jump distance with the
19.
Victor?
Oh, with the Victor. Okay.
With the Victor, I think it has one that has 6 jump jets, doesn't it? They asked on me.
Victor, 23.9, 35.9 is the 9K. The 9S is 23.9, and the Dragon Slayer is 23.9. So the 9K is maybe the only one that might be able to pull off jump sniping, and it's got 1 ballistic, which is more likely in the wrong arm. So yeah, it's in order to get that height, you got to throw on 4 jump jets at 2 tons each.
Yep.
So that's 8 tons that are gone. just so you can snipe with that 1 PPC and maybe 1 Gauss and maybe a PPC or 2 at most, depending on where they are actually located.
Which is what the Dragon Slayer comes with stock.
Right. Right, but it also only has 23.9 jump, so it's not going to get real high.
Yeah.
It's not going to get high at all.
If you skilled it out, maybe, but I don't know how much you could get out of skills at that point.
And Ball of Fire, how heavy are the jump jets for assaults? Ball of Fire for the 80 tonners, it's 2 tons, but for I believe the 90 tonners and above, it's 3 per jump jet. The 80 tonners, look out there, they're basically treated as heavies. Because the jump jets for the larger heavies is also 2 tons. I don't know about the lighter ones, the 60 tonners. But, okay, so I think we're done with the Mad Cat. Next is the Uziel.
Oh, that's the one I would like to buy.
The Uziel.
It doesn't. I'm not sure how to describe it. It just looks nice. I would like it quite.
Cool hot rod look, right?
Yep. It's not a bad mech. It's a 50-ton IS medium, and it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. I don't think it has a lot of quirks yet. Do they?
I don't think it has any quirks.
Yeah, the quirks are. Yeah, this one. I'm looking at the Hero right now, and it's got missile cooldown of 10%. So I don't think the Uziels have a whole lot of quirks yet. So they may get them in the future. Oh, there's one with PPC velocity, not too bad. Machine gun rate of fire. USC jam chance minus 20% on the 3P.
That'd be good.
3S is cooldown and missile cooldown. Ballistic and missile cooldowns 10 and 15. Ballistic cooldown and missile cooldown. S, that's the same.
With the one with the UAC, you probably be limited to like 2 5s at tops, and then hardly anything left over after that with the 50 tons.
Yeah, it's a 50 tonner, so basically 2 UAC 5s at most, more than likely. Maybe a backup laser. But like I said, the Uziel, I think it's okay. It doesn't have, of course, a lot of quirks, but it may get some in the future. We'll see, based on performance and that kind of thing. But as far as weapon hard points and everything I think is fine. The cockpit is right in the middle. If you're looking at my screen, it's right in the mouth there. That's the cockpit. So, as you can see, as far as the mech is concerned, weapon hardpoints are high mounted because everything, if
Right.
it's everything in the arms and the side torsos, so that's going to be it.
Cockpit level or above is what seems like
Yep.
for the majority of it.
Yep, yep, yep. It's
I,
a. Like
I don't I see a lot of people stripping the missile stuff out. Like it's only got the one missile and the CP, right, for most of them.
Most of them, yes.
The torso hard points also means that the enemy can shoot you before you can see them.
Right. And yeah, there's no real missile boat potential here for the Uziel. There's the
Yeah,
most they have
well-
is 2.
The which one has the 2 missile hard points?
The Hero and the 5P.
Oh,
But they're both CT or
Nope.
they're inside?
Those in those cases, the missile hard points are on the CTs or side torso. Sorry,
Oh,
side torsos. And the 5P's got an energy hard point there. It looks like in the CT.
no, okay, that looks quite funny.
So to me, you're better off with like a hunchback if you're wanting to run ballistics.
Yes, this is not a ballistics
And then-
mech, really.
Yeah. And then.
Well, no, I
Maybe-
take that back. No, they can be.
Right,
maybe
but
maybe you could run an Optimus PPC and SRMs.
right, but from what I've seen, the cockpit's really low, like on kind of like how an Archer is, right? And so then you got these higher shoulders and kind of CT already poking them over the hill before you even get there. So as far as like hill poking, it doesn't seem like, and like the torso itself is a big kind of circular, object almost. So to me, I don't like. It seems to me like a lot of them, the times I've run into them, they're not so much poking as they are kind of flanking and doing kind of like what dragons and stuff used to do, rather
Well-
than because by the time you've got your cockpit over the hill, they've probably already shot you at least once. If you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like where the ballistic mounts are on the side torsos and the energy hard points on the side torsos, it's rather low, so you're already bringing a lot of your mass on your torso, at least. Yeah, they do seem like they're fast. JWVK1 was asked. It seems like they're fast, so that, like you could flank with them. But again, like if you were going to like hill poke, to me it seems like you'd be better off with a hunchback or take extra 5 tons and go Shadowhawk.
Yeah, I don't see this usual poking in it.
No,
It
it's
should be it should be more of flanking.
Or brawl, maybe.
yeah, it's a 50-ton medium. It's not meant to be. I mean, really, in all honesty, they're not meant to be these big-time snipers. Their weapon hardpoints are just too high to be effective. Which I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but in this case it does because, like you were pointing out, is they're so high
Well,
above the cockpit.
yeah.
By the time you can see over the hill, see you're shooting at, you've got half of your body exposed, and that's it's the opposite of having your cockpit too high above your hard
Right.
points. Either way, you've got too much of your torso exposed for hill humping. So this is one of those mechs that you want to be poking around corners, flanking. Whatever you need to do, but hill humping is not its strength. It can probably do it, but it's not going to do it well.
JWVK1 is asking, so this is more of a nostalgia mech? I wouldn't say so because it's one of the few 50 tons that is symmetrical, like across the board. I don't think any of them are asymmetrical, are they?
Asymmetrical?
people that
Nah,
like-
the Uziel, no.
Yeah.
The Uziel's fairly
Right,
balanced.
yeah. So there's some people that don't like asymmetrical mechs whatsoever, and that might benefit them. Some people like that, big hunchback hunch on one side. But
Yeah.
these, if you like having an equal type of weapon loadout, one on each side type thing, then it's probably what you would want. I don't see them shifting meta type stuff at all or anything like that. Do
Now,
they have jump jets? I think they do have
No,
jump jets, don't they?
wait a minute, do they?
I thought like one of them had it. Maybe I'm
If
wrong.
I ever
Yes, they do.
buy a usual, it will be just because I loved it in the Mech Mario 4.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of draw for it with some people as the Mech Warrior 4.
They all have jump jets, by the way.
Oh, they all have.
They all have jump jets.
That.
See, that
pretty
gives them
unexpected.
some versatility there, especially as a flanker. So
You could probably pop tart with them if you really wanted to, but
you could actually, because with the energy hard points in the side torsos.
you would know you were clear because of the cockpit.
Incoming
Exactly.
With
Exactly.
the cockpit, yeah. PPCs in the arms and jump jetting.
Yep.
Maybe.
You can be a fast pop-tarting enemy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Kind of use it like the clans use the what is it?
Oh, could you do two heavy
Shadowcat?
PPC usual?
2 heavy PPC
Ooh,
Uziel,
heavy PCs are heavy.
Yeah,
They're-
they're like
20 or 10 tons each.
Yeah, that's a
that would
lot.
be way too heavy. Maybe in the
Depends on the engine.
Well, what's the one with the most energy hard points you could glide?
I think one of
layer
them got
on
6.
Some, light PPCs maybe.
Yeah, one of them got
maybe do
6. The heroes got 4.
that. Right.
The 6Ps got 6.
4 light PPCs is no joke, so you may
And-
do something with that.
Yeah, the 3S's got 4 energy as well. And I'm
PPC only
uh,
does 5 damage.
And I'm actually running 4 light PPCs and 2 Amaran 10s on the hero with an Excel 300. Sorry, light 250, not an Excel, light 250. So it's not as fast, but it's not
Right.
running an Excel, and it's got the 4 light PPCs and it can pop tart. So
Well, if we compare it to the other, what are the other 50 tonners? Let's see, we got
Hunchy,
the Centurion.
Enforcer,
Yeah,
yeah,
Centurion's a gun arm mech just flat out. Enforcer, it's kind of, it's more humanoid. And I think all the Enforcers, if they have that asymmetrical one gun arm, one laser arm type thing going on, right?
the Enforcers.
Yeah.
No, one of them's got I think the 5P. I think is it the 5P? One of them's got the UAC build, the one with the UAC quirks. It's got a ballistic in each arm.
Okay.
The Enforcer is probably going to be the closest comparison to the Uziel, except
Right.
for it doesn't have jump jets. I don't
The
think.
Enforcer doesn't have to.
I don't think so.
I thought for sure.
It's been so long since I played an Enforcer.
Yeah, one of
Oh,
them.
one of them
the 5P
does.
does have jump. Well, the 5P with the UACs does have jump.
Sorry, all but the 4P have jump
All
jets.
but one.
Yep. So
Yeah.
they're probably the closest competitor to the Uziel then.
Yeah. And then you've got what else? The Hunchback, which is just a ballistic boat, unless you're doing the 4J, and then you're
4SP.
for the 4P and the 4SP. Yeah.
4SP
But I
is.
mean, the 4P with the medium ER mediums might be. I haven't seen anybody do that yet. I'm wondering.
4
You get the
ER.
Trev,
That
which
might
is
be
my
too
favorite.
hot, actually.
Yeah, it might
The
be.
4P with all ER mediums, I think that's going to be way too hot. Because you're talking what 8, 9 of them. That's way too hot.
Well, if you load the side torso, it's 6 or is it
Yeah,
8?
6. 6
Yeah.
in the side torsos, 1 in each arm,
And
1
after
in the
6
head.
you get ghosty. So if you didn't load the arms and stuff up, fire those all at once too. Then
Yeah. Of course, I'm running mine with 3 ER larges in the side torso. It's
and then what other 50 tonners? We got the Crab, which is really nothing like the
No.
Uziel at all.
no, it's
And
a
then the
straight out
Trebuchet,
energy
which I
weapon.
love my Trebs, but it's nothing like the Uziel either.
No. No, I'm pretty sure the Enforcer is its biggest competitor, direct competitor. I mean, the Hunchy is
Yeah.
there as well, but the Hunchy only has the one side torso. You can't really do multiple ballistics on the Hunchy. Well, yeah, I guess you can on the G. On the 4G, you can put 2 5s in there or 3
You can
2s.
put on the G. Does the GI have the Gridiron have?
Yeah, it has 2. It has 2 hard points as well.
There's 2 on that. Yeah, it's the only one too that of the punchbacks that has missiles and something else besides lasers. I don't know. It's interesting.
I do some really stupid stuff with my mech sometimes.
You don't have fun with it though.
I just pulled up the gridiron, and I think I've got an AC-20 in it. AC-10, sorry, AC-10, and I put an eye decal on the gun. So the first thing I see is this big eyeball staring at me.
Funny.
It's too messed up. Too
I
messed
don't know
up.
what I have on mine.
Oh, they want you to turn your mic up a little bit.
Oh, mine? Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. Mine.
Okay, so Uziel, I think the Uziel is okay. It's again, it'll probably end up being a victim of there's just too many 50-tonners, just like the other 50-tonners, and they're in that spot for mediums where why not just go up to the 55-tonners? You know, just make. I mean, why bring a 50-tonner if you can bring a 55? And if you're IS, that's not really much of a discussion. But if you're, clan, it's a big deal because of the scout mode and that kind of thing, where they're not allowed to bring 55-tonners. But
Right.
but we're not. This is for Inner Sphere, so 50-tonner. It's gonna get. I have a feeling it's gonna get lost in the mix over time. Yes, you're seeing them running around now. But that's because they're still not even a week old. So you're going to see them running around for the time being. And you'll have people that love them and that kind of stuff. So you'll see them pop up from time to time. But I don't think you're going to see them being dominant simply because they don't have the quirks. Honestly, they just don't have the quirks.
You'll probably see some more of them than crabs and trebuchets.
Oh, yes.
They seem to be the two least likely to be seen 50-tonners.
Which is a shame because the trebuchet. Well, I only have one. I should not much to talk about trebuchet, but crabs are great energy boats. They really are. I like them. I don't play them as much, but that's because I don't play mediums that much.
Yeah.
So
I play, I think, a ton more mediums. See, the trebuchet is my bread and butter, just because I don't know what it is. I like how ugly it is or something, and I've always just kept. I have the hero even, and with medium range missiles, it has a lot more utility than it did when I was just using it as LRM boat.
Hey, Casey Hunter, welcome back. Crabs are only energy. Yep, they're energy boats. They're good at it, and they're fairly durable
not
too.
The hero, right? The hero is the one that has the ballistic arms, right?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't played it yet. It does. It's got 2 ballistics in it. I have not played it yet.
That's the one different one. Yeah, I think you might like that one.
I'll have to take a look at it.
It could be interesting.
So basically, it's an enforcer.
Well, it was. I think they were making the opposite of what the hero was for the king crab, right? It's kind of like a mirror hero. So like the king crab the hero has what the energy claws, right?
Right.
And this one has ballistic claws.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
that makes sense. So basically, the hero crab is a enforcer without jump jets.
Onyx says it has 2 ballistics in the torso too.
No. The hero crab? No. I'm looking at it right now. It's got missiles in the left torso and energy in the right.
Maybe he's talking about the gridiron then or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
What does a Kaiju King Crab has?
Which one was this again?
The King Crab Kaiju.
The
What does it
kaiju.
have? Oh, yeah, that's the hero.
Yeah, it's
king crab.
just a second.
Weren't you using that one the other day with
Yep.
the ballistics?
I was playing that on
Yeah.
not Saturday? No, yeah, Saturday. I think I was
Yeah,
playing it.
Saturday. Yeah, that's the one you had the racks on, wasn't it?
Yeah, I have 2 rack
Yeah.
5s on it right now, but it's got 3 energy hard points in each arm,
Okay.
and it's got 2 ballistics in the right torso and 2 missiles in the left.
Oh, so you could do 2 light ghost rifles on the right torso.
Yeah.
You probably could, yeah, because the light gauss are
They
5
are
slots.
Really,
Yep.
They're really fast.
Yes, they cycle really quickly.
Oh, really?
3.75.
Oh.
And really quickly is subjective.
Compared to the other ones, yeah.
Because regular Gauss is 5, and heavy Gauss is 5. So,
Right.
so they are definitely significantly faster, and I swear they charge faster too. The couple of times I've used them, I think they charge faster.
I was playing with the heavy ghost rifle earlier today, and I had trouble actually shooting the weapon because the charging was so. It was a bit slower than the normal ghost rifle.
It was slower to charge.
On the heavy?
Yeah, it is. It is slower in the heavy ghost rifle.
Oh, the heavy Gauss,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I think it should be. Those things are vicious. 25 points of damage at what, 180 meters?
I was running dual heavy ghost mortar, and when I got close enough, people just died.
Yeah, they're scary. They're scary. Okay, So that we were talking about the Uziel. So last mech to talk about for this Civil War package is the Cougar, which I have no experience playing whatsoever. So
Well, you don't play lights, right? I mean,
I don't really do lights.
Right.
I could probably play these. Their speed is 81. I could probably play these guys because they're the clan lights. The Adder and the Kit Fox I've actually played, and I do okay with them because they're not super fast. They're usually, you know.
This is probably up your alley. I looked at the speed and went, you know, because it's got some pretty good weapon combinations I think you could do, but the speed kind of, to me, it's like, well,
Yeah, they're Adder speed, or the Kit Fox speed. Adder speed. Kit Foxes actually go over 100. Adders I think are under.
Right. And if I'm right, somebody said it or something that it's a modified adder, basically a cougar is,
Yes.
or something like that. So I don't know. I don't know the clan stuff at all. I'm not a clan player, but when I was looking at the stats, to me it looked like it had okay loadouts, and the ECM in the head, yeah. But the speed was the thing where it needs to bring some good weapons, otherwise it's why you bother.
All right.
You might want to try a 6 medium full slash or something.
Is it fast enough to get those in and out though, without getting just blown away by stuff that can bring a lot
No.
bigger weapons out? Right, and that's the whole thing. Is like when you have fire starters that can bring 3 ER mediums now, or 6 ER mediums, 8 ER. I think it's 8 ER mediums, and go still a really good clip. You know, the Cougar.
Yeah, top speed on this thing is only going to be 88 with speed tweak, so they're not super fast. They're basically mediums. They're basically
Yeah, Sighart kind of said it. They're kind of fire support, and you don't need fire support light in this game, unfortunately. There's like no real role for that, really. I mean, if, like Raven, you know, sniping is one thing, but this thing, like, it doesn't even seem like it could snipe really well, could it?
It might be
Jump
able
jet?
to. They
Could you do Shadow Cat type
no,
stuff with it?
they
Yeah.
do not have. One of them does. The H has jump jets, and that's the only one. And H is also the ECM one.
Right.
So, that's the only one with jump
Sighart, though,
jets.
like, everybody can do well in one mech. Overall, though, are a bunch of people going to do well in Adder? It's like I've got a 1300 damage game in my Orion, but do you see a bunch of people lining up to use Orion? No.
And Jeff commented that this is a nice paint job on this one on the Hero Cougar. It's got a snake skin on it. Looks pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. The design scientists chose to modify the Adder, though the two mechs are visually similar and share the same weight. The Falcon Cougar is slower and better armed. Okay.
But Sigurd, all that really means is you're good with that particular mech. Like I am a big fan of there are no bad mechs, only bad pilots, and in that case is you just happen to be really good with the Adder. Most people aren't. And it's because they either don't take the time to be good with them, or they don't know how to be good with them. You obviously have figured it out, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you like the Adder, you like the Adder. There's nothing wrong with that, honestly. I mean, there are mechs that I like that other people say they're crap. So
Yeah.
it's just the way it is, and that's why we have 50 plus mechs to choose from. It's find the mechs that you like to play and play them, and don't give a shit what everybody else says about them. If you have fun playing a mech and you do it well, who cares? Honestly. And because BW is not here right now, he loves Mistlinks, and he does well in them. And Tech Files, thank you for the follow. And everybody, well, I won't say everybody, but most people will say that Mistlinks are crap. They're not worth bringing. Yet he hops in one and he does really well. It's because he focuses on them. That's what his focus is. He loves playing them, so he does well with them. But that doesn't mean the Mistlinks is a top tier mech. Just because he can do consistently 500 plus damage in them, that doesn't make it a top tier mech. It means it's a top tier mech for him, and that's all that really matters to him.
Yeah.
So
It's just like in any other game, like MOBAs, there's people that play a certain character really well, but if you go to esports, nobody's using that character. It's like, why aren't you using that one? Because sometimes it's easier for a lot of people to get used to certain characters over other ones. Just like it's easier for some people to pilot. Like, some people will find a mech and it fits them like a glove, and they're like, why would I pilot anything else? And people can poop all over their choice or whatever, but they're like, I don't care. And then as long as they're consistent with it, I don't give a damn. You know, if
Yeah.
they're having fun, that's the big thing. It's a game. You know,
yep,
it's
this is
fun.
remember, this is a game. This is not a job. If you're not having fun playing it, you're probably doing something wrong. Because this is a game. It's not supposed. It shouldn't feel like it's a job. If you feel like you're not having fun, playing whatever mech, it doesn't matter. Then you may want to move on to something else. You know, maybe take a look at another game. And I'm saying that as a person who has taken a long break, a 2-month break from this game, and coming back just last week. And I understand. And after just playing a couple of, well, probably what, 10 hours of it last week, I understand why I left, and I understand why I'm not going to be playing this game 7 days a week like I used to. You know, putting in 20 hours plus. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna happen anymore. The game is. It's not as fun as it used to be for me. Does it mean I'm gonna quit? No. Does it mean I'm gonna play less of it? Yeah, we'll see. I'm still gonna put in a couple of days a week. You know, because most of the people here that are watching the channel, they're here because of Mech Warrior Online. That's where most of my followers are coming from. So I'm gonna continue playing the game. I do have fun playing it from time to time. I just don't have as much fun as I used to, and a lot of that has to do with the game is changing. The game is changing with all the different mechs that come out and all the different technologies and stuff like that. So, but I'm getting sidetracked here. But the moral of the story is, if you're not having fun, move on. That's the way it should be. So, anyway,
So, do you think you'll be playing the Cougar Gimpy?
I should probably give it a try.
Yeah,
I should give it a try because it's basically an adder with.
with different options. It seems like.
Did they have jump jets? No,
Oh, it's
only the
alright.
one.
So,
I thought they did.
I saw Sunline playing with it with 6 medium pulse lasers.
Well, he
Yeah,
he plays everything with 6 medium pulse lasers.
Maybe they should nerf medium pulse lasers.
You think?
Nah, they're not. They're really hot.
They also do a hell lot of damage too. They are one of the best weapons in the game. Period. For the tonnage and the damage and heat and range, they are one of the best weapons in the game.
Yeah, but they fit the Cougar really well.
Well, yeah, some mechs are better with them than others. I mean, which do you know what variant he was playing? So obviously one was 6 energy, right?
Yeah, well, it was 6 energy. I have no idea which
Well,
one it
with
is.
the Omnipods, it could have been the mix. For the
Oh,
rest of
yeah, I forgot this is an Omni. So yeah, okay. So the C has 5. So he probably.
them. Take that one and give it whatever the extra one came from.
I
Yeah.
think one of them has an energy in the head. That's probably what he did.
But did they have jump jets? I don't.
No, only the H has jump
No.
jets.
Is it in the legs where you can swap the legs, though, or is it?
What, the jump jets?
Yeah.
Jump
Or
jets
is
you
it
can't
the-
pull out.
No, but you could swap. Can you swap legs on that?
Yes,
or
you can
does
swap
legs come
legs.
with the CT?
You can swap
Yeah,
legs.
so
You
you
can
can
swap
swap-
everything except the CT.
That's what I thought. Okay, so you could put the jump. If the jump jets are in the legs, you could throw the jump jet legs on anything.
Yep. Oh, actually, wait a minute. The jump jets are in the side torso.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And there's
What's in those
no
side torsos?
nothing.
Oh,
it's
they're
jump
blank
jets.
Side torso. So you get jump jets and no side torso weapons.
Yep.
That's lame.
But it's an Omni mech, so you can just pick
Yeah.
and choose. I mean, you can, let's see, Omnipods, left arm, there's one right arm with 3 energy hard points, so I bet there's a left arm. No, there's not a left arm
Right,
with
but
3.
those arms are pretty big. You only, like Onyx is saying, you only use like the highest hard points it has on the mech, which are the side torso ones that are damn near even with the cockpit.
None of their side torso have energy hard points.
No,
Oh,
they don't.
sorry, wait a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, none of them. Oh, sorry. No, it's the right arm. Yeah, the side torsos, no energy hardpoints. They only
It's all
have...
ballistic.
No, it's all missile.
I thought there was a ballistic one.
Yeah,
That's where
the
I saw it.
ballistics are in the arms. All the
Huh.
ballistics are in the arms. So how did he pull off 6 energy? Right arm.
Maybe
Left arm.
it might have been 5.
Cougar E is what Onyx is saying.
He did it. There's one of the Cougar C has an energy hardpoint in the head.
Right.
The C has 4 in the right arm, and then you can pick the D or the prime for the left for 1. So that's how he did it.
Okay.
If he's running 6, you could do 5, no problem. But 6, you need to take the C head.
With it being A, a light, B, not one without a jump jet is kind of doesn't have as many hard points, and then C, it moving so slowly. I'm not like if you like it, then that's cool. But to me, it would be something I would choose. If
I
was
wish
playing.
Dacers was here. Dacers is the Cougar lover.
The other thing, or-
I wish he was here because he could speak to it. Because he was ranting about it on Tuesday. I think it was.
Maybe Dacers is too busy loving the Cougars.
Yeah, he random new welcome back. But I guess so. I guess the verdict on the Cougar for the most part is meh. It's another light clan mech that's nothing special. Honestly, it's too slow. The hard points are, I don't know. It's
Well, it's a light mech that can pack a lot of firepower.
can it have a lot of firepower?
Yeah, it can.
Not
make a streak boat or something with it.
No,
I mean,
it's only got 2 missile hard points at most.
Put just one in each arm for that.
One,
one
no, they're
area.
side torso. They're all. They've got. There's the D and the prime have 1 missile hard point each side torso. So there's no missile boating going on there.
I thought there was missile arms. I swear I saw a missile arm.
Not what I'm looking at. And I've got all of them. Oh, wait a minute. The reinforcements. I forget about the reinforcements. I'm just looking at the omnipods you can actually buy. So maybe there might be a couple with.
I thought there was
Oh,
missile arms.
Yes, there is one. The hero has missile arms.
Okay, so
So
essentially you could have.
you could
4
do a little
hard
missile boat,
points.
just like the
Yeah.
Adder, but just like the Adder. And
Do ATMs or maybe or
The-
streaks or something.
yeah, the E has missile in the hard points or missile hard points in the arms too. So the hero and the E is probably a reinforcement. That's why we're not being able to buy them.
So is one of the reinforcements have the side torso ballistics? I swear I don't know if I saw. Probably an NG had it or something. I thought I saw something where you could put ballistics
left
on
arm.
those high up.
Oh, that's the hero. The hero's got a ballistic in each side torso.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Sorry. Again, I
So
wasn't
that-
seeing it because
that
I was
one
looking at the
might be-
omnipods.
Right. That one, if you put C's or something in it, you could maybe snipe with it. That might be.
Snipe with what?
I don't know how much you could fit in there, though. I mean, that's the.
What are you gonna snipe with?
Yeah.
It's a
no,
35 tonner. You
machine
can
gun.
you can squeeze in and probably a small AC or a smaller AC
Onyx.
or maybe a light Gauss.
Onyx says the
Like
E. Has,
PPCs, why not?
Onyx says the E is energy side torsos.
The E
So maybe you
energy.
could put clan
okay.
PPCs in it then.
There we go. So yeah, the E's got some energy hard points in there in the side torsos. It looks like it's
So
only
with
got
that, you
one.
could actually-
So
Only
you
one side
one-
has one.
yeah, the E has 1 energy hard point in each side torso. So you could
Okay.
do 6 really easily with. You actually could do 7 if you really wanted to, because it's got an energy
Right.
in the hard point. It's got an energy hard point in the head as well.
One that had one in each torso. You said there was one arm that had.
One
4,
arm's got
right?
4, so you could actually do
And
7.
then one arm has one.
Yeah, the left
Is there a
arm.
left arm that has one?
Yeah, a couple of left
So
arms.
you
have
could,
one.
yeah, you can have 7.
So actually, no, that's actually 8.
No, it's 8. Yeah.
That's 8.
8 small lasers, right?
Yeah, 8 smalls. 8 smalls.
Mini Nova, yeah, right.
So the Cougar does have possibilities if you have all of them, where you can mix and match parts. So you could do a missile boat with 4 missile hard points, 1 in each arm, 1 in each side torso. You could do that. Then you can do the energy boats. as you can see here, which you can get up to most is 8. Then you can do ballistics with the hero. It's got ballistic hard points in each side torso, and then there's a couple of them that have ballistics in the arms. So you have choices here. It's just that it's a slow-moving light, so it doesn't have a lot of armor. It's the same boat as the Adder, really. It's the same boat as the Adder. Because
I
the
can
Adder.
only see it as useful in faction play, as a hard-hitting whatever.
Yeah,
It's
it's a light. It's a hard-hitting light, is what it is.
It's kind of like a Panther or Wolfhound kind of, where they're
No.
limited in the engine size.
It's an Adder. Really,
Right, no,
it's an
but,
Adder.
I mean, if you're looking at IS equivalent, it's
IS
supposed to feel. Yeah, if you're looking at what it's supposed to do, it's that kind of brawly light that doesn't really fit in MechWarrior Online all that well.
Actually,
Or
it's
has
not.
some kind of roll.
It's not even an Adder equivalent. It's slower than an Adder. The Adders do.
Oh, is it?
The Adders do 97. The Cougars are at
Yeah.
80, 81. So was it Kit Fox then? That's slow.
The ECM,
No, Kit
I
Fox
think,
is
is the
fast.
only saving grace of that Cougar.
And that's the H, which is on the reinforcement
Alright.
one. So we won't see those for a while.
No.
So
I think when the ECM comes out for C bills, we'll see a lot more of them. If people are filling out their drop decks like faction play with a light or something, because I think there was people that were using 3510. What's the other 3510 for clan?
Adder. Oh, Adder
Adder.
and Cheetah.
What's the Mistlinks? Oh, it's
Mistlinks is like
Okay, yeah.
25 or 30.
So if people don't like the cheetah, right? If they don't like that speed and that there isn't the playstyle, I could see them maybe filling it with the adder. With, at least you got an ECM version you could do. I don't play faction warfare either, AW. So,
Yeah.
but the people that do it, maybe they'll see that. You know, if they're not running, like I said, if they're not running cheetah speed run type stuff.
Oh, the Cheetah's only 30. I thought it was 35.
Oh, okay. So okay. So the cheetah's.
Oh,
so
the
only
Jenner
other one
2C.
that-
Jenner 2C is 35.
Jenner 2C. You said that the adder though too, right?
The Adder's 35 tonner, the
No.
Cougar,
Adder's 35.
and the Jenner 2C.
Oh
So
no,
if
the
you-
Sentinel is so bad right now.
Is it really?
It's so huge. It's the size of a cicada.
Yeah, the Jenners, both Jenners got screwed in the reshaping or whatever they called it.
Right.
They got screwed. They got made much bigger than what they should be. They
I
are
had
just
not seen that.
they are just
Yeah.
too big.
I had not seen the Hero Mech Adders paint scheme. That is a really rad paint
Maybe,
scheme, though.
maybe BGI should take a look at their statistics, then see that no one is using Sinners anymore, and maybe do something about it.
Yeah, they're too big. They're too bulky is actually what it is. It's not that they're tall, they're bulky, so they're easier to hit. They don't have, I mean, they're light still, so they can, I don't know. They're just too, I think it's just they're too
They're in a
bulky.
weird spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in a weird spot. I think they were made just a little bit too big, especially when well, they are 35 tonners, and when you compare them to, say, the Adder and the Cougar,
Compare them to
they're
a
the same
cicada.
size. I mean, they've got the same height. If anything, the Cougar and the Adder are worse off because they're wider. So, and they're slower. That's the thing, is the Jenner at least has speed on its side. Both the
Just compare them to a cicada, and the cicada is pretty much the same size, and they
Yeah.
can pack
Yeah.
more or
well,
Yeah.
the Skate is only what 5 tons heavier, so
Yeah.
you're gonna.
The cicada, though, in the tabletop game, is basically a locust. It's just when you don't have a locust, you can use the cicada. You
Cicada
know?
is-
So,
The Skate is actually a little bit taller than the Jenners.
yeah.
It's a little
Just
bit
a little
taller.
bit.
Yeah, not much, but it's a
Compared
little
to
bit.
if you compare it to the adder, they're relatively the same, though.
yeah, but the cicada is still it's just not that bulky like Jenner has that. It has a huge nose on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jenner's got
Toilet
that
bowl.
cockpit that's out way out in front.
We always call it the toilet bowl because it looks like it's got a big tank on the back end, and then that bowl sticks out front, and then you put legs on it.
Oh, and apparently Russ just sent out a tweet with a poll. What would you prefer, 4 mech packs or a mech a month?
I would buy I would buy a new mech.
If you can buy them individually, instead of buying a whole 4-pack, if you could buy, say, a medium and a light, or a heavy and an assault, or a heavy and a medium,
Yeah.
I would prefer that. If they can produce 4 mechs every 3-4 months, I would prefer that. Being able to pick and choose instead of having, if you buy the assault, package, you get everything. That I'm not a fan of. Never have been, even though I did it. Not a fan of that particular method.
I liked the time when we had the Phoenix packs, right, and they had the add-on with the 2 extra mediums. I liked that kind of thing with the add-ons. But I don't like having to put the assault. Like, if you want the assault, you have to buy everything.
Yeah, that's what I don't like.
Kind of sucks.
That's what I don't like. So 4 mech packs or mech a month. I would go mech a month at that point. Because if they're going to be charging $20 a mech, might as well just do mech a month. Honestly, if it's a 4-pack and it's $80, I would rather go a mech a month at 20. Because that way you get to pick and choose. You may have to wait a little longer, but at least you get to pick and choose what you want.
Looks like the majority of people voting with 88 votes in is Mecha Months as well. So
Yeah, it's more logical because you get to actually pick the mechs that you actually really
what
want.
you want, yeah.
You don't have to get something you don't want. Because that was my issue from the very beginning with the legendary pack, is I've never really been a light person. I didn't really want the Jenner, and
Right.
if you want proof of that, you can just see how many Jenners I own. So
And if you go back all the way to the founders, there was one where you could
But
get
you
one.
do have a urban mech.
that was not by choice. That was given to me. Just so you guys, for those of you who don't know, is PGI gives me mech packages because I was part of No Galaxy TV back in 2015. Not a very long time, but I was basically for the whole year, and there was an agreement between the NGNG TV streamers and PGI that you would get compensated for your time because you were basically doing a commercial for them. And as a result, they gave you mech packages, or mech packs. And that has continued on.
Incoming message.
And thank you, Janeri, for the follow. That has continued on since then, because for those of you who don't know the story, is there used to be probably roughly a dozen at any time of NDN streamers, although it faded.
Yeah.
It varied between time to time. But by the time I was streaming, there was like 4 or 5 of us on a regular basis, and they basically NGNG said we need to let you guys go for reasons. And no problem at all. But they said, but we would still continue to honor the agreement that we had, that as long as you stream MechWarrior Online on a regular basis, you would continue to get mech packs. So as a result, I still am collecting mechs that I really I didn't really have an interest in Cougars or Annihilators or Mad Cat 2s or anything. And as a result, I've been getting mech packages since last year and a half or whatever it is.
Right.
And because I do stream, I have been streaming MechWarrior Online on a regular basis, so I get mech packages as a result. And last June, this past month, I got all the hero mechs that they gave us, or that they made available for sale, and I didn't even know it until Tuesday last week, because I hadn't logged into MechWarrior Online since May, and
Right.
I log in on Tuesday and I get this boom. You got all these mechs and mech bays and blah 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 and all that fun stuff that comes with them. I go, okay, and it was all the hero mechs that came out last month. And then last Tuesday, Darren from NGNG, he came into the stream and he gave me all the mechs for the Civil War, and that's how it works. It's, if you want to hate me, but that's just the way it is. I've been streaming MechWarrior Online for 5 years, just about now, coming up. So it's been a long time. Okay, so next step.
One of these days, Gimpy, you
What?
and I are going to take out Urban Max, and we're going to do it.
Someday, maybe.
Okay.
Someday.
Urban mech
Someday.
US 620s.
Right?
Could I give them could I give the mechs away, Sigart? I don't think so.
I think they replied to your account, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
So-
specifically to my account. They get injected into the account. They don't give me a code or anything. They just get injected in. So I don't think I can give them away.
We need to
They
run
are,
the
they are
canines.
giving
though.
them to Kimby even if he doesn't like it.
Now, having said it, I mean, I have two Jenners. I have the Founders Jenner, and I have the Sarah's Jenner. Those are the only Jenners I own. And of course, they're both Ds. They're both Jenner Ds, though.
You don't have an oxide?
Nope. Nope.
Really?
Why would I want an Oxide?
I don't know. I have the Sarah's Jenner and the oxide. My founder's mech is a catapult, so I didn't get the.
And for
But I had
those,
the oxide, I thought it was pretty fun.
and the significance of the Sarah's Jenner, for those of you who weren't around when they came out, is this was a mech that PGI made in honor of a little girl who died of cancer back in 2012, I think it was.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she really loved her Jenners, and her dad went to PGI to let him know that she had passed away, and PGI got real cool, and they went and they made this mech. I mean, it's a Jenner D, but they went out and made this custom mech with all these little things. Like, you can kind of sort of see the I guess it's a unicorn. It's like a purple unicorn right there on the back there. These are all things that she liked, so they put them into the mech, and they sold them. They sold them for $10 each, and all the money went to cancer research. So, very cool of PGI to do that. And they sold something like $200,000 worth. Is that right?
Yeah, they had a lot of them.
It was a lot. It was a lot they sold.
But people were buying the mech just to support that the
Oh, yeah.
company was doing it and didn't even play NWO at all.
Yep. And like I said, I bought it, and I did it because it was a very cool thing for them to come up
Yeah.
with, and I had to support them for that. And like I said, the money went to cancer research, so it's not exactly a shitty thing to support, or so. But and I can probably count how many times I've dropped on this thing on one hand. It's just
Tarkus says that's the first money he actually spent on the game, and it's the first mech he bought.
nice,
So that's cool.
nice.
That's a good first mech.
It was the second for me. So technically, it was the second because I'm a legendary founder. So
Founders.
technically, I had the founders were my first mechs, but this was my second purchase. So okay, so we've covered the mechs. General opinion is the Annihilator. Big,
Pretty big.
scary, devastating.
Yeah.
Can be slower than dirt, as it should be. Mad Cat 2. What?
And the Annihilator can be killed if it is out of position.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but so can any
Slow.
mech. So
Assaults,
Yeah,
it's
but
all,
yeah, but the
assaults it's all about.
Annihilator is easier
Yeah.
than any other.
any other?
Yeah, if it's out of position.
Well, you can put the Atlas and the King Crab and the Direwolf all in the same
No.
category. What do you mean no?
I wouldn't say that.
The Direwolf and the Annihilator go the same speed.
Right, but I think the dire wolf you could hide easier than the annihilator. Like, let's say you put it behind a rock out in the open field, the annihilator is going to be a lot harder to park.
Oh,
when you
because
get
of the
that
height.
rim bomb.
Because of
Yeah,
the height.
because of the height. Yeah,
Meh.
I think he's right about that. I think the annihilator is gonna be great in a good assault pilot's hands, and really not in somebody that's not up to snuff.
Zephyrus, am I done? No, we are not done, actually. We are only technically half done because we're supposed to be talking about the weapons as well. We've only been talking about the mechs.
Yeah.
We just finished up with the 4 mechs, the Annihilator, the Mad Cat 2, the Cougar, and the Uziel. General consensus is Annihilator is, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna
yeah, okay
it,
with- yeah.
it can annihilate things. It does its
in
job.
the right place.
It what?
It's in the right place right now.
It's
Annihilate
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's in a good place. It's got devastating firepower, but you can kill it, plain and simple. It's not hard to kill, so it's probably in a good spot at the moment. Mad Cat 2, very very solid. It's a 90 tonner. It's fast. It's got a lot of firepower. It's a clan battle mech. It does what it's supposed to do. It's high. It's got the hard points are in good places in relation to the cockpit. It's like I said, it's a good mech. It really is. It's definitely not DOA. Definitely a solid mech. Uziel, kind of middle ground. I think we were on that one.
It's a solid 50-tonner, but then 50-tonners are in the middle ground anyway.
Right.
So it's right there, kind of okay, but not exceptional.
Exactly. So it's very much middle of the ground. And then of course then there's the Cougar.
Yeah.
Which I think we can all fairly agree that it is probably the loser of the four.
Yeah.
Simply because it's a light and it's slow. And by slow we mean it's under 90 kph, which makes it the slowest of the clan mechs, the clan lights, by good 10 kph.
It's the slowest in its tonnage bracket too, and then
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, it's basically the speed of a medium, of a
And the
50-ton
ECM
medium.
Right, and the ECM doesn't make up, I don't
No,
think, enough.
no, it doesn't. And the ECM is only on one mech anyway, and it's the same mech with the jump jets. So
It has the speed of the medium and the firepower of a medium, so...
but it's got the armor of a light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
it could be,
downside.
it could be a good one for faction play or something.
I'm sure some, like I said, we had somebody in here earlier saying, he does consistently good damage with adders. And so I'm sure somebody out there is going to do well with the Cougar on a consistent
Yeah.
basis. It's just that the general populace is not. They're going to look at the Cougar and go, oh, this is just a slower adder. Honestly, that's what it's going to be.
Like I said, faction warfare, maybe we'll see it.
Maybe.
As a filler. But
As it-
like I don't think it's going to have as hard an impact as an Arctic Cheetah at all. Like not even close.
And Cephas is saying from the couple of matches he's played, balance feels better than it ever has. Now they have to stop the balance. Need to stop the balance stuff and work on optimization and netcode. Probably. Well, they have things they have to work on. The PGI response to the Harmony Gold suit are pretty good in play. What? What's that about, Tarkus? That didn't make sense.
Sigard.
No, Sigard is the one that was doing well in the adder.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Arctic Cheetahs are dead
You
right
don't-
now.
yeah.
I just mean, as much as Arctic Cheetahs were an impact at the beginning, I don't see the Cougars even coming close to that sort of brutal impact to the game.
Well, the
as
cheetahs
much as
were-
Arctic Cheetahs when
the
they were-
cheetahs were such an impact because they were broken. The
for
hitboxes
a
were
while,
broken.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
So,
But
and-
even after they were fixed, they were still a really decent Mac for what it was. So.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
a light with ECM, jump
Incoming
jets,
message.
decent firepower, yeah. And who does that follow?
On the weapons.
Yeah, we'll move on to weapons. So, Kaoru, thank you for the follow. I think that's how you say that. Total guess. So, how should we do the weapon thing? Just stick it on a couple of mechs?
Energy. Start with the smallest and work our way down.
How are we going to do that? Go with, what, IS or clan first?
Go to IS first. Right.
Okay. Clan
I'm
I'm gonna
first.
take a couple of minutes have a break.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
You go on. Then
See ya.
Time for a break. Well, do you want to take a quick break?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
If you're fine, I'm fine.
I'm a pro, damn it.
I drank my drink. My throat is fine. Let's do this.
It's funny is yesterday because I wasn't streaming and stuff. I was hanging out with my brother and a friend and stuff, and we were talking, and they were talking about kids and stuff, how they have to spend all this time in front of computers nowadays and all this other fun stuff. And I go, what a bunch of wimps. I can sit for it because they say I have to get up after 4 hours and move around, and they can't do longer than 6 and this thing. Oh, you bunch of wimps! Here, I'll tell you what a pro does. I sit in front of a computer basically 12 hours a day,
Yeah.
and I don't bitch and moan about it. But I've also been doing it for a long time too. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I am a pro.
Should we
So-
mention the Flamer since they got a skill bonus thing with this update?
Did they?
Yeah, did you not see it? In the skills, in the weapon tree now, there is Flamer ventilation. They added it, I think, in 2 spots. Or just one.
I had no idea.
Yeah, Flamer ventilation. It's in. I think it might only be 1 spot. I thought there was another one. I thought they said there was 2. But it's
Actually,
increases the rate at which the ramped heat dissipates. So when you're using the flamer and the heat ramps up, it helps it dissipate easier.
huh? Okay, I did not know that happened.
I
Okay.
thought that was interesting that they added that.
King Crab. Let's do the Kaiju, right? The Kaiju's got 6 energy hard points. I want to put as many weapons into a mech as possible.
Oh, there are two flamer ventilations. One's further up and one's further down on the left side. One's a little bit off the center line, off to the right as far as firepower. So total, it's 14% dissipation for heat ramped up flamers, which is pretty nice. If you wanted to like run a fire starter or something that has bonuses like. Let's see, is it on
Oh, it wasn't running a light. I thought it was running a light engine in this thing. Oh well. Oh, it came with the standard 3. Or 325. Yeah, give me one of those. Okay. Now, I'm not building a mech to be functional here. We're just going to throw a bunch of weapons on this and then take it into a testing ground and fire some shit around and get some general opinion on sound effects, visuals, that kind of stuff. Okay, so new weapons are ER mediums, ER smalls, light PPCs, heavy PPCs, and snub nose. And ballistics, we have. Am I gonna be able to squeeze a rotary 2 and a 5? Not that it matters, they're basically the same thing.
They're basically something.
Yeah,
Just
sound
the
effects
amount
are
of
basically the same.
damage. Yeah.
So we do put a light Gauss in there. Okay. And this is going to cost me 2 million C-bills. Because I'm buying weapons I don't actually own.
Right?
Only 2 million. Okay. So there we go. We'll take this King Crab, the Hero King Crab, into a testing ground, run around for a little bit, and evaluate the weapons as best as we can. Okay, testing grounds. Collective. And once again, guys, thank you all very much for coming out and watching today. Hope you're enjoying this is basically just a discussion. We're just looking at the new mechs that we're not going to be taking them probably into the testing grounds. No need to that. We're just looking at the weapons now. The new weapons, not the old ones, but new weapons. And just goof around with these for a little bit and see what we need to do. And we'll look at the ballistics after. So, and this is the Hero King Crab, the Kaiju. Okay, so what should I shoot first?
Up to you.
Okay, ER smalls. These are gonna be useful, I think. At a range of 200 meters, that's not bad. And
Not insignificant, yeah.
sound effect. Eh.
I know there's a lot of people already talking about having replacements for the sound effects and sound packs and whatnot, but I'm like, you know, if you want to bother to do that, if it bothers you that much, I guess.
Yeah. The sound is, it's okay. I mean, my problem with the ER smalls and the mediums is they sound heavier than they are. If that makes sense.
No, like the sound is more impactful.
Yeah, it's got a
Yeah.
more of a heavy tone to it, I guess. And then, of course, the ER medium also shooting 360 meters. That's very nice for a 1-ton weapon. 360 meters. It's a little warmer, of
Yeah.
course, but
Right. I think the ER mediums are the winner of the old school tech upgraded to ER, like, you know, as far as the ER smalls and ER mediums. ER mediums, I could see being a lot more useful to a broader audience.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep. So, between the two ERs, I think they're fine. Sound effects are, like I said, a little off, I think. They sound a little too heavier. I wish they had more of a lasery sound to them. I don't consider these sounds to be very laser-y.
Really? like the ER medium. I think it's okay. The ER small, I understand what you mean by its impact, a little bit more impactful than it is, but I don't know. I kind of like the ER medium. So.
I like I said, I think both of them, they sound a little bit too heavy, and especially when you put them side by side, which I didn't, which I should have, is
Right.
the sound effects. But otherwise, the weapons are fine. Ranges are good. Weights are good, of course. Damage, it's hard to say. I didn't even look. See, I'm guessing this damage is the same. Burn times seem to be about the same. Yeah, burn time's about the same. So I think they're solid. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
Nothing too unexpected there.
I think for the heat, it's about right for what they do.
Yeah.
Too.
For the added range, the heat is about right.
Yeah.
Jeff, it is an ER, so the sounds should have some weight to it. Why?
See that?
The ER ER larges don't, unless they changed them.
They're using the older one though.
Yeah,
too.
they use the same.
I think they need to update the sound though.
Why?
The largest do, and then
Why?
to be in line with these other two.
Well.
And then I think it would make more sense.
I think what they should have done is just left the ER small and medium lasers have the same sound as their regular ones. But that's me.
I don't agree with that because
Okay.
I play with the sounds on, and if I hear it like behind me, I want to know what the hell. Have a general idea of what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
They should have new colors.
New color. Oh, that's right. The
No
colors
color.
are the same. That's right.
Oh, new colors or no colors?
New colors.
New color.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having new colors, but of course I'm colorblind, so it affects
So
me.
it doesn't really affect you.
Nah, some of them do. Some of them I can't tell the difference between the two. Like the two you're firing, the small and the medium, there's no difference in
It's-
those two colors.
They're red and green, by the way. The small is
That's
red.
My worst color perception. Yay!
Yay.
So I can't tell at all.
Have you tried 6 USC to King Crab yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
That sounds amazing. Though.
But I have run a 6 UAC Direwolf, and it's the same thing. So, anyway,
It's actually better than King Crab. That's because the King Crab.
yes, just because it's the king crab. Okay, moving on to the light PPC. This is probably, I think, my personal favorite weapon so far.
The light PPC?
The light
Yeah,
PPC
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
3 tons for 5 damage and it's 540 meters. So basically, it's an AC5 with a slower
Right.
cycle time because it's like it's 3 seconds, I think, somewhere around there. So it's probably my favorite weapon so far, simply because for the price. For the low price of 6 tons, you can do the same damage as a regular PPC for 1 ton less and a half a heat more. So they're a little hotter if you fire 2 at a time. Fire 2.
3 tons, not 6. You said 6.
Well, I said yeah, but you get 2 for 6 tons. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So you get 2 light PPCs for the same damage as a regular PPC, but it's a ton lighter and slightly warmer. Same range,
Yeah.
same cooldown, all that fun stuff. So I think they might be the steal of the IS weapons. My personal opinion, at least.
I don't like them that much actually.
You don't
Really?
A lot of
what's the problem?
PPC is only 5 damage. You can do that with medium laser.
Yeah, but
Right,
it's better
but you have to
range,
stay on
instant
target.
damage.
Yeah.
That's
Like for a light or for a medium that needs to dodge around a corner and lay it on there and then back
Yeah.
up, it's a great middle range weapon that isn't a real heavy PVC.
yeah.
It definitely depends on the mech.
Oh yeah,
Well,
the
anything
mech is
depends
going to
on-
always be a factor, but it's as far as if you're doing a direct comparison between a light PPC and a medium laser, ER or regular, it doesn't matter. The PPC's got the better range, and it's got the instant front-loaded damage, and that's significant if you're playing in a light or a medium, or hell, even a heavy or an assault too. Is you pull the trigger, turn away, you're done. You can start torso twisting as soon as you pull the trigger. You don't have to worry about holding your target, and obviously you're gonna have to have better aim.
Yeah.
They require better aim because you're not gonna be able to correct. Once because lasers allow you to give that little half-second time to correct a little bit. PPCs don't. So if you hit your targets, you hit your targets. If you miss, you miss. So that's of course just that's the difference between lasers and PPCs in the first place. But like I said, for the tonnage, I think they're really good. And again, just my personal opinion there. And
like Old Onyx says, they work on some, but then PPCs are better on others. Like if you have
Yes.
a heavier mech that can afford it, why not take the bigger one? But if you have like a medium, and you're like, oh, I can only fit in a medium or a large laser in here, and you wanted something that had let's say you had a ballistic mech, but then you had one energy point, you put a PPC in there now and shoot everything, and then turn away, rather than have, oh, I can shoot ballistic, and then I have to keep this medium face hugging them, FaceTime them to keep that one medium on there.
Right.
Now you can have if you have the tonnage and stuff, you can shoot everything downrange and then get the hell out of there.
And ball of fire, light PPC's minimum range. Yes, they do have minimum range as 90 meters, just like regular PPCs. And the only IS PPCs with no minimum range are the snub noses and the ERs. So, they're the heavy PPC, the regular PPC, and the light. They all have a minimum range of 90. So that's just regular trade-off there. I would love if PPCs didn't have a minimum range, but they do. Well, not much you can do about it at the point. I mean, unless PGI has a change of heart sometime.
The only problem with these new PVCs is I've heard, at least, unless somebody knows otherwise, that all of the quirks and stuff that a lot of really good PPC mechs got, like these things don't work on them. It's only like PPCs and ER PPCs until they like change it around or something. Like I'm hoping that like with an awesome, it can cover all the PPCs. Like
I thought they did. I thought if it said ISPPC.
I heard it was not. That was like the one thing that didn't work. Like you could put light PPCs on it and not get the bonus. Like the Cicada 3C, has that one energy point that's supposed to basically carry a PPC in its head. Like the light wouldn't work on that.
Huh.
If you want the light and like some LBX2s or something.
Okay, I thought they did. Okay, so light PPC sound effects are fine. It's very similar to the regular PPC. It's got a little bit of I don't know what kind of sound it is. It sounds a little different, but it's basically the same sound. It's a little different. It sounds a little muffled almost, I want to say. But otherwise, it's fine. The sound effect doesn't really bug me. Now, heavy PPCs. Now these boys are 10 tons. 10 tons for a heavy PPC. They do 15 points of damage, and from what I understand is unlike the clan PPCs that do 15 points of damage, supposedly the damage from these guys does not spread. It's 15 points to one location.
Yeah.
So let's test that out right now just to make sure. Aiming for the cataphract's right torso only, so if it does spread, we should get flashing from the CT and the arm. And we do not, so it is 15 points of pinpoint damage. That's a pretty big deal.
Yep.
Because that's basically a Gauss shot right there.
And the 8Q awesome can have 3 of them.
Yeah.
I've got a build with 3. It's hot as all balls, but it's there.
Now the downside, of course, of the heavy PPC is its range. It's oh no, it's not. It's the same. Never mind. I was thinking of the snub nose. I was looking at the snub nose, but it's the heavy PPC. 540 meters like a regular PPC, so minimum range is 90. It's basically just a heavy PPC. Basically 5 more points of damage for 3 more tons, and more heat.
More heat. Yeah, a lot more heat.
And it's that 15 points pinpoint though. That's
I
a
think
big
you get
deal.
ghost after 1. I think you can only have
Is
1.
it?
Is that right?
It might be.
I think I read that you can only have 1. I think it was the MRM40 and that heavy PPC. You can only have 1 of them.
Okay.
And then 2 creates ghost heat, and then after that, you're of course building it up.
Okay. Okay, so actual sound effects on this. How's it sound?
Yeah, Old Onyx, I agree. The heavy PPCs are probably the reason the Gauss PPC change was happening. I did like that they increased the velocity. Like, they increased the PPC velocity across the board, which I think is nice. Cap on 8. Oh, it's 2?
Oops.
Alright. Then that was just
I do not think
shooting too
please
much.
stop saying it means.
The heavy
You are
PPCs
making me
is
look
2.
bad.
I keep overhitting the light PPC and the light ghost rifles, so I guess the ghost heat is working as intended.
Is it?
Yeah,
It actually is.
yeah, you can have 3 light PPCs without ghost heat.
Oh, I thought it was
So-
4.
No, it's 3.
No, it's 3.
4 though, I mean, if you're firing 4, you're not gonna feel it that badly.
Yeah, but if you have 2 light ghost rifles and 1 light PPC,
Oh, yeah.
it gets hot.
Okay, so the sound effects on the heavy, it's got basically an aftertaste of sparkly after you shoot it. Basically same, it's a PPC sound, but it's the sparkly aftertaste goes on a little bit longer than normal. Not too bad. Not too bad.
But does that mean, I wonder if that means that the counter ECM effect of the PPC hit, you know, like when you hit something with ECM with a PPC and then it takes down its ECM, does the heavy make it last longer than a standard? Because that
Oh.
would be a bonus.
Don't know. Don't know. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so heavy's okay. Snub nose. Okay, snub nose is the close range PPC. It has no minimum range. It is only 6 tons as well. It does 10 points of damage for 10 heat, if I remember correctly. So it's basically just a short range PPC with a little bit less heat and
no
range.
minimum.
And no minimum range, of course.
And
Sound effects
really
about the
good
same.
if you wanted PPC to be your main weapon, but you didn't want to have the minimum range. Like if you wanted an awesome and you notice that you're not sniping with an awesome, you switch it all over to snubs, and then you got A, 1 extra ton, and B, no minimum range, and the only thing you're losing out is the extended range. To me, those go pair well with large pulse now, a lot more than the regular PPC.
Right. Now the sound effect is different. It doesn't sparkle as long. It's a much shorter sound effect.
Mhm.
It's much quicker. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, like I said, the light is. I'm firing the wrong one. I was firing the short, not the small. But it's the same. It's basically it sounds like it's the same sound effect. It's really close. Yeah, it's got more. The snub has got more of a crack to it. But yeah. Okay, Darren.
Hey, Darren.
Yes, we're not so much doing science as discussion. Not so much science as discussion. We're just looking at each individual thing and evaluating what we
Maybe
like.
Darren
Yeah,
would
talking of weapons.
Maybe Darren would know. Darren, do you know if does the heavy PPC make the ECM counter effect? Like if you hit a mech with ECM with a heavy PPC, does the counter ECM effect last longer on a heavy than it does on like a light, or is there no real change in that? It's just all the same. I'm wondering that.
Okay, let's do the light Gauss. Light Gauss, for those who don't know, I think it's what, 10 tons? 7. It's like half of the weight of a regular Gauss, I believe, and the damage, I believe, is 8. So about almost half the damage of a little over half damage of a regular Gauss. It does.
What's the weight compared to an AC5 on that?
The light Gauss?
Yeah.
I think it's like 8 tons. No, it's.
The
think
same as an AC5?
I think it might be.
Okay.
And the sound effect, the little streaky noise that it makes. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Light gauss is 12 tons.
It's 12 tons. Oh, it's heavier. Not much heavier than I thought it was. Really, it's 12 tons. Regular Gauss is 15, so it's 3 tons lighter, but the damage is almost half.
Yeah, but it has a much faster reload.
Yes, we were looking at it earlier. The reload for the light Gauss is 3.75 as opposed to the 5 for
Yeah.
Gauss and heavy Gauss.
So it's pretty much if you can take a regular ghost rifle, you should take that. But if you can take a light ghost rifle, you should take that one instead.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing. An AC-10 is 7 slots, 12 tons. A light Gauss rifle is 5 slots, 12 tons. So if you want more range than an AC-10, but less damage, then you take the light Gauss. If you want more damage and less range,
The
then you
AC-10.
take the AC-10.
Right.
Yeah, but the light Gauss rifle is easier to hit with. It's pretty much an instant hit.
Yeah.
To the
Right.
Yeah, it's like a regular gas. You pull the as soon as you pull the trigger. Well, as soon as you release the trigger, you know the damage is there. So, not too bad. Okay.
Okay, so it does last longer. So thank you, Darren. Regular PPCs nullify for 6 seconds. Heavy ISER PPCs nullify for 10 seconds.
Okay,
Light
so they're all
PPCs nullify
different.
for 5. Snubs for 6. That's nice. I like that.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
That's a neat little
I'd
trick.
seen the little particle effect and like the crackly noise lasting different amounts of time, and I wondered if that was the effect between the two. It's really nice though. Thank you very much.
So light Gauss, it's light. Its biggest appeal is the cycle time because it's that extra 1.25 seconds faster than a regular Gauss, which is significant, especially over time. If you're just going, bam, 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 bam all the time, you're gonna
Right.
notice an increase in damage there. So, hopefully that's making up for it. I would think.
I might try that light Gauss rifle with in one of my Centurions because they are fast. They have good quirks for
Oh, for Gauss.
for ballistics.
Ballistics. Okay. Ballistics.
I don't know if they're worthless with
The- I-
the DVC ghost heat thing. Like if you had a Marauder and you wanted to shove 2 of them in there, then maybe like something like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, but when you do, well, why would you do that? If you,
I don't know,
because
yeah.
that weight, you might as well just take a regular Gauss and put the tonnage somewhere else. The extra
Right.
tonnage, because that's a lot of that's a lot of tonnage you don't need to use.
Like I could see it like if you had one ballistic slot that you could use like an arm, like maybe I don't know. Like a Centurion is too brawly, right? What else
Usually.
would you put
Yeah,
it in?
it's a broad mech. Yeah.
You could put a hunchy,
You could put it on ING, I guess. Yeah.
high mounted light torso, and then you can have bigger
Like
engine.
a gridiron.
Yeah.
But does the quirk from the gridiron's Gauss thing work with the light? That's what I'd like to know.
I think they should just take the load time from the light Gauss rifle away.
As far as the light Gauss, the only place I can think of it being useful is in a mech that obviously has 2 ballistics, either in the arms or side torsos, and it's a smaller mech where the tonnage is really, valuable as far as what you choose for your weapons. Like you might put maybe a couple of light Gauss with, a couple of medium lasers as a backup.
But the thing is though, for 1 more slot and 2 less tons, you could put a rotary AC5 instead of a light Gauss.
Totally different function.
Right, but I'm trying to figure out what mech you would put a light Gauss in that's going to snipe like what you want the light Gauss to do.
Blackjack.
But see, you can put other stuff. I don't know. I think there's better stuff you can put in a blackjack.
Well, that you asked a possibility, and that's because I've been running my blackjack one with 2 rotary 5s, and
Right.
and you could take those rotary 5s out, put a light Gauss, and make them into a little pop target with light Gauss.
Yeah.
And
You
the,
can
but the
pop
thing,
that in a
but at that
without
point,
rifle.
yeah, but at that point is if I got 2 light Gauss in there, why don't I just take out both of them, put a regular Gauss in one of the arms, and take advantage of that weight savings, and,
Well, yeah, or
and
for
do more.
the tonnage you could do AC10s, because you like there's only like a few mechs that can really kind of snipey deal because you have to really go around. You have to be able to move, right?
Right.
You have to be able to have high mounts for the most part, so you can just barely peek up. Minimize your return fire options, right? And like I don't know, I just don't see a lot of use for this particular weapon in a variety of mechs.
Oh,
It seems very, very pigeonholed in a certain one.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not a big Gauss person in the first place, so even though I say you could put them on a blackjack, I don't think you're going to see me putting it on a blackjack. Just so you know.
So Team Belows the
Yeah.
Gauss rifle.
Yeah, Gauss rifle. Ugh. Anyway, rotary 5. This is
Right.
oh, I love rotary 5s. They are so much.
It's fine.
Whether they're super effective or not is irrelevant. They are fun to play and they sound awesome, and that's all that matters. and they are so much fun.
They are playing the heavy in TF2 in MechWarrior. It's just, let's throw down firepower in volume.
Now you do have to watch them. Those of you watching the stream there, if you look at the lower right hand corner there where the rotary 5 is, you see that yellow bar. That's the spin up time, and that basically determines on when the jam starts. As soon as it turns red, that means you're opening yourself up for a jam, and the jams last fairly long. So you got to be careful. But that's basically the spin up time.
There is a skill that minimizes it, but it doesn't solve it completely.
But it's a fun. Oh god, they're so much fun. Yes, they require a lot of face time. Yeah, I'm fully aware of their little disadvantages and stuff, but man, they're fun to play.
So Darren's asking, so do many of you think racks are OP? I do not, because the amount of time you have to face
They're not
or
OP.
the amount of damage you're getting.
The Rack 5 does a little over 10 points of damage per second, but one is not super devastating. I mean, 10 points a second isn't bad. It's, it can kill. I mean, these mechs don't have any armor on them, so that's why it looks so awesome. But in actual combat situations, and look, I'm already at ammo for 1 ton. But in actual combat situations, they require a lot of face time, typically, because that 1 second is forever when you're fighting. It really is. And
Well,
if
yeah.
if you're running 2, they're hot. They really are hot when you're running 2 at a time. 1 isn't so bad, but 2, when you're consistently firing 2, they get really warm. And you're always constantly looking down in that lower right hand corner there, going, how close am I? How much am I pushing that edge there? Which is really annoying. I would love to have that bar up in the middle of the screen, or off to the side somewhere where the buttons are, or not the buttons, the group indicators there, the 3 and the 3. I would love to have a bar, for the rotaries on the sides or down below or just above, somewhere on there, so I don't have to keep looking down to the right, because that's really annoying, especially when you're trying to shoot somebody and they're shooting you back. So, but that's just a pet peeve.
I think the blinding effect offsets the face time, but not to the point where they're OP.
They're not
And
that
I think-
They're not that blinding though. When you get hit by them,
Oh,
it's
no,
really
no,
not
no,
that
no.
blinding.
Some
It's-
people will hate it though. I mean, they didn't like the blinding effect of the LRMs and stuff, or even how bright the machine guns got if they were close to your cock when you were firing them, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things. Nobody's ever going to be satisfied with it completely.
And Darren says he's already put in a request to get that the Rack 5 bar moved. So thank you
It'd
for
be great
that.
if it was near if it was near the cursor in the middle somewhere, or even on the sides of where it's norm and 2 x X, kind of the corner little insets. That would be cool, I think.
Now, Cypher's just said 3 Rack 2s feels pretty good. And I'm going to have to agree there, because I was on Saturday, I put 3 Rack 2s on my Ilya. And that was
Really?
fun. That was fun. Here, I'll get out of this. I'm totally happy with
I'll get that one right now.
it. I had a lot of fun, because I'm running, I think, a light 300 engine in it, so it's moving at a decent speed, so it feels nice and agile. Again, no skills, and it feels agile with that 300 in there, and just running 3 Rack 2s with, I think, 5 or 6
But you're
tons of
having
ammo.
to show yourself to get all those 3 racks
Oh yeah, you
on
are.
target.
But that's
Yeah.
what the Ilya has to do that anyway,
Right.
because the Ilya
See-
is a ballistic build, so it has to.
I've noticed
No.
the people that use like a rifleman or something and kind of snipe with racks are harder to deal with than the ones, like there's been a lot of times where guys just pull around the corner and just away at you. I'm like, you're an idiot, I can target them in the big thing, it's not like I don't know where we're at, and then I hit them back with UAC 20 2 times, and then they're like, oh god, and then they go away. So that to me, it's not, like if you know how to deal with them, it's fine. If you don't know how to deal with them, they can catch you off guard and really mess you up.
Okay, so we'll do this real quick. It's because I ran this quite a bit. I ran it for about 3 or 4 matches, I think, on Saturday, and I had a lot of fun playing it. And I didn't do horrible. I think I had 1 bad game because I got run over, but I think the 2 or 3 other games that I had, I think I did respectable damage. Like I was getting like 400 damage-ish. I know that's not great, but it was fun getting it. So this is the Ilya with 3 rotary 2s, and again, it's got a 300 light engine in it, so it's doing 69 kph, no speed tweak, so it's pretty quick.
You're gonna overheat in that one.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, because the overheat is 2 racks.
No, actually,
Oh, yeah, I thought-
actually, I didn't have any heat issues. My problems were gems. It jams a lot because you had to fire for so long.
Right.
Heat was actually never really an issue with the Rack 2s.
Yeah.
3 of them.
Oh,
Never had a problem with it. They
builds up
they jam
slowly.
before they overheat.
Yeah, and it builds up slowly, and if you jam, then you're dissipating all that heat. Carcass says he played his Sarah's Jenner for the first time in 3 years. And got 486 damage, 3 kills, and 2.
See, look.
In CDs.
I had to stop firing because I was getting close to jamming, and it's really heat really isn't an issue. It was only at 50% before these things were getting ready. Well, actually, it wasn't even that far. Let's see, how long does it take to get to? Use of firing. Gonna get close to jamming. So it's only at like 50% heat by the time you start getting close to the end of the line there, and then you just stop for a couple of seconds, and the heat goes away.
See, Onyx is saying that the Rack 5s are the locust weapon system, ignore them, they get you, type thing. I would say that they were like the LRM. LRMs used in a right situation can do really well. LRMs and just throwing LRMs out doesn't work. If you throw a bunch of ammo down range with the racks, you probably, and just, I want to spray, that's dumb. If you time your spool up right when you're pulling around a corner and lay into somebody, you can do well. And I think it's one of those type of weapons where it's not instant gratification. You have to kind of think about how you're using it.
Jeff, I don't think I have any extra heat sinks in this thing, to tell you the truth. I said, I played this on Saturday, had a lot of fun playing it. And it does respectable damage. It just requires a lot of time. It teaches you how to manage racks, in all honesty, because you're firing 3 at a time, and it's 3 2s, so the damage isn't superior. So you have to you got to be patient. You got to be watching that bar a lot, because heat really isn't that big of a deal. It's that spin up bar that's the important thing, because once you hit red on that, you're going to hit jamming time, and then once you hit jamming time, there goes your DPS and blah blah blah, and you get to go hide behind a rock for a while. So you have to be really careful with that. And it taught me, or was beginning to teach me to be a little bit more patient with the rotary 2s, or rotaries in general. And as far as damage goes, the rotary 2 is what? 5.8.
Message.
And Freehold 69, thank you for the follow. Damage is 5.82 a second, so a little more than half of the 5s, because the 5s are 10.9. But it's got better range than the 5s. Not as hot. Although the heat.
Try AC Rack 2 against Rack 5.
For damage, there's no comparison. Rack 5 is superior.
Where do you think these are best used, though, Guppy?
Rack 2s?
Any rack. Racks all together next.
Racks in general, how should they be used? I don't know. I don't think I have a good answer for that. I mean, they're not a brawler weapon. Not really. I consider them a mid-range weapon. Simply because
if they're a mid-range weapon, then the AC5 Rack 5 is even better.
Right, but you got to remember the 2 has got a slightly better range. I mean, its optimal range is 540. The AC5 is only 450, so there's about a 100-meter difference there. Projectile speeds, AC2s are much faster. They're moving at 1,500 meters per second, while the rotary 5s are only 1,000. So, and their spread. The spread on the 2s is better.
Yeah, I saw somebody use 2 Rack 5s on a Banshee.
Okay.
And didn't start lighting up until they had to charge through some open area or something, and then they were just laying in to whatever was around. And I thought that was a pretty good use of them, because you're getting that blinding effect with a bunch of other mechs. He had a bunch of support with him too, so they were firing. But he would lay into whatever was the biggest threat, and then just kind of wade up into them.
Yep.
And I thought that was a pretty good use of them. But I wonder if he'd had UAC 5s, would that be a better use? You know, or you know,
What is that, on
how
a
do you
Banshee?
justify one over the other? Yeah, it was a big Banshee. You know, so those weapon groups on his ballistics are pretty low. You know, kind of like an Atlas or anything.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like it was an okay use of it, but I don't know if I would pick that over something that just does damage.
It depends. Like I said, it's racks are not brawling weapons. You have to sit back and use them, and what you have to get in the habit of doing is you're going to be sitting back about 300, 400 meters, and using them at their optimum range as much as you can, because once you get into brawling range, they're really hard to use, because because of the way.
Spin, yeah.
Yeah, because you waste a lot of shots if you're shooting somebody that's moving perpendicular to you. You're wasting a lot of ammo, and that's not good. You want to be shooting people that are facing you, simply because yes, they can shoot back at you, but if they don't have rotaries, chances are you're going to put more damage on them. Again, depending on what it is, obviously. But with the rotary 5, it's 10 damage a second. That's a lot. If you got 2, that's 20 a second. Think about that. You're going to tear the shit out of most everything really quickly.
Well, yeah, but that is a little based on you can tap USC 5s
Well, that's
in less than a second.
Yeah, but they will also jam too.
If you're in an assault, though, you're going to have a lot of face time if you've got those low mounts anyway, because you basically have to pull out of cover when you're like a Banshee or an Atlas or anything with that the kind of belly gun situation going on. Like if you got I got a rifleman with 2 rack 5s, that's great. You just barely poke over the hill and do the lay into stuff.
Yep.
But you get a lot of return fire in that too.
And again, like I said, racks are not brawler weapons. UAC 5s are. UAC 10s are. Those are brawler weapons because you go in, you do tap tap, and you twist away. Rack 5s and 2s, you go blam 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 blam, and that's all you do. You don't do any real torso twisting because if you do, your DPS goes to crap. At least with regular ACs and UACs, those are brawler weapons. Those are meant to be you take your shots and you start spinning away, spreading your damage. Racks don't give you that chance, and that's why they do the damage the way they do it. That's why you're doing 10 points of damage every second with a 5, and what is it, 5 or 6 with a 2? Yeah, we're just under 6 with the 2. So that's the trade-off. You're trading off that higher damage for being able to do your pinpoint damage and twist away. It's a trade-off. It's a different role, and that's why you got to approach it.
It almost sounds like PTR is balancing the game.
It's what, balancing the game?
PTI is balancing the game.
Oh, PGI is balancing the game. Yeah, it's actually the rotary 5s, I think, are in a good.
It is creeping up on you.
The balance.
You think the racks are in a good place?
I think they are in a good place right now. If you play them to the role that they're meant to play, and that's to put down, their job is basically the same as a Gauss, where you're putting damage down range as fast as you can. It's a different type of damage, because it's more damage over time than it is the instant damage that a Gauss can do, but it's basically the same role. It's just the Gauss allows you to take your shot and turn away and do your little sniper stuff. Gauss is a sniper weapon, and the rack is more of a considered a heavy assault weapon, where you're just sitting back and you're pulling the trigger. Blah, 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 that's what you're doing. And then the ACs, then the UACs, their job is they're more of like a shotgun type deal. You go in, you pull your trigger, and you go hide somewhere else. It's a different role, and you have to play it accordingly. I still haven't played. What I want to do is I want to put two rack 5s on one of my Atlases and see how it goes, and just to see if it's even viable with an Atlas. I don't think it will be, simply because Atlases are so dependent on being able to twist the damage away, and I don't think it'll work. But I still want to try it. And but my best success with the racks has been with the Ilya here, sitting back, not trying to brawl, sitting back with the Ilya, because because it's a counterfract, you can't really, hill hump. You have to stay flat, and you have to, peek around corners or let somebody peek at you first. And if you time your spin ups time, you can tear the crap out of them when they do peek at you. But like I said, the Ilya, I've had good success with. The Rifleman with 2 Rack 5s and the Blackjack with 2 Rack 2s. I've had good success with all of those so far. Not spectacular success, but what I would consider good success, especially over time when I get to learn the spin-up times and how to manage those a little bit better. I think they're going to be very viable. Just for me. I mean, they're not going to be meta, but they'll be viable. Just my, And again, they're fun. They're fun to play. And that's, again, we're playing a video game. If you're not having fun playing it, don't play it. Play something else. If you don't like Rack 5s, play 10s. Play USC 20s. Whatever you have fun with, play that. You don't have to... I mean, look how many choices we have for ballistics here. We got plenty of choices, and they all require a slightly different play style. So, I'm sure there's something for somebody.
Is IS choice double? I've been wondering that. Let's say
Double? For ballistics? Easily.
For ballistics, I think it almost doubled. Yeah, didn't it? Because we got 3 new LBX, 2 rotaries, 3 new ultras, right?
Yeah.
2 more Gauss, and then,
11 new guns. No, 11, 12, 13 new ballistic weapons if you include the machine guns. By the way, light machine guns, very underrated.
Yeah, very underrated.
I put 6 on an arrow, the Blackjack hero, on Saturday. Oh, that thing was it's 2 large pulses and 6 light machine guns. Oh.
I just bought an Ember and I put 4 of them on it with 4 ER mediums. So we're gonna see how that does here later on.
But yeah, okay. So that's lasers and ballistics so far, and that's actually not even all the ballistics. Do we want to look at UACs?
We don't have to look at them, but we can talk about them.
Okay.
You don't have to look at them unless you want to. I mean, we
can talk about them while I build.
We've already had a UAC 5 as IS.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm saying the other ones is because I don't know if I've seen a. Yeah, I have seen a UAC. Yeah, I saw I put a USC 20 on an Annihilator, but
I'm telling you that Bounty Hunter 2 build that I've got for a regular Marauder, the hero for with a UAC 20, it's just it's delicious the amount of damage you're doing with 4. What is that? I got 6 medium lasers, a UAC 20, and was it Type 4 targeting tutor. Fun, just so much fun.
Okay, so I'm going to put a heavy Gauss on this, and we'll do a heavy machine gun, or light machine gun, doesn't matter.
Bada is asking if we talked about heavy Gauss. We kind of did.
No, not really.
A little bit. Not really.
Very little. And
do those after
energy.
the Ultras, maybe? Yeah.
Oh, I should probably go to a different crab for this. No, actually, no. I can't. That heavy Gauss screws up. That's only a side torso, so...
Yeah.
And
that one and the LBX 20 are side torsos only, no LFEs, only standard engine type.
Oh, we can go to Maulers for those.
Yeah.
And we can get multiple.
I kind of wish that they would take away 1 slot of the space on the LBX 20 because I don't think anyone's going to ever use it otherwise.
But that's the way it's supposed to be.
I understand, but I don't like the amount of mechs that can actually use that are going to.
I know what you're saying, but I just, if they remove that 1 extra slot or 2, you're gonna see it be more prevalent, whatever the word is. Prevalent. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. Syllables are important.
But I mean, is that a bad thing? It's an LBX 20. It's not like it's some sort of devastating. It's, I don't see it being, even if they took the slot away from it, I don't see it being some sort of like uber, destroyer of worlds or anything.
No, I don't think it would be a destroyer of worlds. It's just that it would be more common, I guess. And
well, it's not a bad thing.
It's not a good thing either. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, already you have to have A, the tonnage, B, use a standard engine. So, pretty much assaults, or like heavies. that you for some reason you want to just use a standard engine. You know, because the amount of weight with taking a standard engine and an LBX 20 already is going to be pretty extreme.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't see the problem in making it that way.
I don't know.
Incoming message.
Since they can't split or do whatever, I think it's a split thing normally, isn't it, or something? Or is that the Gauss? There's something in tabletop where you can split the criticals between two sections. That's how it's supposed to work.
It's been so long since I played
Yeah.
tabletop, I don't remember that stuff. But Zytuwakin, Zytuwakin, I don't even know how to say that, but thank you for the follow. So we have a LVX 20 and heavy Gauss here. So heavy Gauss optimum range is 180 meters, meaning that's where it does 180 meters and under is where it does its 25 points. So I'm 219 from this cataphract, so I'm not going to do full damage to this thing, but it's still going to be what, 23 points roughly if I shot it from here. That's stupid crazy.
That's super great.
But we'll get up to 180. There we go. So just blow off a side torso. Yeah. So cooldown is 5 seconds. Regular charge up. I like how the cockpit shakes when you fire the heavy Gauss. It wobbles.
Kind of a balancing thing. The reticle does its little wiggly woo too.
Yeah, it actually. Well, it doesn't really, but it doesn't move the cursor though.
No, it just shakes the reticle around. In a
Yeah, but yeah,
pattern, yeah.
but it doesn't really matter. That's the bad part. And we'll use the 20 to. Oh, that's a different sound than the Clan 20. I don't like that one. I don't like the IS
No?
one.
I just don't see what's so devastating that they couldn't take away one of the crit flaws. That's just me, you know.
It's
They
because
made it-
because
they made it so situational.
it's because when the armor's gone,
I guess. But
the crit rate is just horrible or awesome, I guess, not
Yeah.
horrible. Oh wow! It actually spun the cataphract's torso with the Gauss did.
Onyx said in the PTS the lasers go all over the place and follow the cursor if you shoot the heavy Gauss and the lasers at the same time.
Yep.
That's cool. I like
The-
that.
Yeah, no, that's not good. It's not the way it's
No,
supposed
that
to
is
work.
good. That's balancing.
That's not balancing. That the lasers
That's
follow the cursor when it shakes.
Yeah, because then you can't. It's less. It's harder to do that whole. Let's put as many lasers with the heavy Gauss as possible and fire them all for some sort of super pinpoint thing.
But the thing is, the cursor's not really moving. That's the thing.
Well, he's saying the lasers follow the cursor around, so even if it moves around, like it moves around the lasers go all over the place with the recoil of the heavy Gauss.
Uh-oh.
Unless I'm reading that wrong.
I just killed the poor cataphract. He had an ammo explosion.
Yeah. I wish those were more common, to be honest.
So the heavy Gauss, it's even though it does, the short range, the 180 meters is, for max damage, it still goes out pretty far for significant damage because of that 25.
The heavy Gauss is still better than easy 20 at
It's-
300 meters.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Charge up mechanic's a little weird.
Or LBX 20. Yeah, but
Don't really like the sound. The LBX 20 sound isn't as throaty as the Clan version. The Clan version sounds a lot better.
Yeah, but they should sound different. I mean,
Well, they can sound different, but it doesn't sound as good. It doesn't sound as beefy. It doesn't sound really like a shotgun does. It's like I said, it's too tinny, thin. I don't know.
well, it shouldn't sound like a shotgun now either.
But it is a
when it's
shotgun.
that big.
It's a
Well,
shotgun.
have you seen the rounds that they fire out of tanks?
No, that's real life. That's real life. That don't count. We're not talking
You
about real
compare it
life.
to a shotgun. That's real life.
Because that's its function here. It's basically the same as a shotgun.
Yeah, I understand. Well, that's
It's a-
the thing with the tanks is it's to take down aircraft and stuff. That's what the LBX was supposed to be doing too.
Well, the LBX was supposed to have double function. It fires slugs and
Yeah, you could fire slugs, but
see, just like a shotgun. It's slugs or
Yeah.
pellets.
just like the tank that can fire those canister rounds.
Yeah, those aren't what we have nothing like that in McWare. Bata. Welcome back, Bata. Okay, so LBX-20 sound is kind of but it's an LBX-20. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a little. I mean, the downside.
Yeah.
The downside to the LBXs and the UACs is they're basically the same as the clans, except for rounds for the UAC are a little different. That they're not as many. Is that what it is?
Well, the clan one doesn't take near as many slots either, does it?
Yeah, it's not as many crits. It's lighter. All that
Right,
fun stuff.
Yeah. Which is another reason why it's like if you want LBX-20s, you probably won't pick an IS LBX-20. And that's I think it's a pity because it's like a whole weapon that they've kind of made not very useful, you know?
Yeah. Okay, ammo. We need 10. We need 20. We need machine gun ammo. And we need other machine gun ammo. Okay.
What is this build you are doing right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Where's
What-
the machine gun that you got? Oh, there's an okay.
What? Now, wasn't the Mauler one of the mechs that was supposed to have the new? Oh, it does have the new models for the 20 and
Yeah.
the 10, but the machine guns are the same.
Any of the models, any of the mechs that had heroes that came out with that last group, or with the new mechs that came out, you know, the Annihilator and stuff. Those are the ones that have the new models.
Okay.
So like anything that came out with the K9 and that Mauler hero you don't like that's supposed to look like the BattleTech toy.
Oh, yeah. That paint job I just don't get.
It's after that. I think somebody even said as much. But and then you could make it look fun. I think they just have to work with it a little bit more.
Okay, so we're at the Ultra AC-10 and the Ultra AC-20 for the IS. Now, tell you right now, I don't like the sound of the 10. I've used it on a couple of different times,
I
and
agree.
it's too, yeah,
Tinny.
tinny.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound quite right.
You have a bad build and it sounds bad.
Yeah. Now the 20 I think sounds okay.
The 20. Yeah, I like the 20.
Oh, these things can be so scary. Oh. The 10 just sounds so wrong, especially when you hear it right after the 20.
Yeah.
It sounds so wrong.
In comparison, yeah, there's an obvious difference. The 20 is a really good weapon, I think, though. A
So-
really good weapon.
So the 10 is what, 2 shells?
Yes. I believe it.
It looks like it's 3.
Might be.
It's hard to tell
It
because
almost looks like 3. What does it sound?
it's going bam bam.
Anyway, I think it's just 2.
1, 2, 3. The 10 is going bam bam, and the 20 is going bam bam bam. So
Okay.
it's probably 2 and 3 between the two, which makes sense.
So if you double tap the 20, you get 6 rounds of going down range.
Oh yeah, I guess we should just count that, huh? That was 3. Yeah, it's 2 and 3. 2 for the 10, 3 for the 20. Now machine guns. The light machine gun is very faint.
Yeah.
Actually, well, and maybe it might be because of where they're located. They don't sound as.
They don't, to me, they don't sound terribly different, and honestly, they shouldn't. You know, to me.
The light is a little less heavy. Yeah, the heavy machine gun sounds more like a machine gun to me. And the light is just like a faster sounding machine gun, but not as deep. Which is okay. I mean, they don't need to... I've never been a real big critic of the machine guns in this game in the first place. I think they're okay.
They're mostly the secondary weapons for most mechs anyway, so it's like not
Except for the arrow.
as important. Right.
Except for the arrow. And the Jaeger, there's a Jaeger too with 6 ballistics too.
And what is the spider with the 4
Oh yeah.
on the arm? It was 2 on each arm.
Isn't that the Ember?
The Ember has 2 on each torso. There's a Spider 5K, I think, has 2 on each arm. The 3C Cicada has 2 on each arm, and then it has 1 energy in the side torso.
Oh, I forgot to do MRMs, but well, okay. But actually, the MRMs are the last, I think, of the weapons we need to do for the IS. Wow, this is taking longer than I thought it was going to take. We've been talking too much.
Is your dinner cold?
No, my dinner's not even ready yet.
I think
I have to go soon, so you can do MRMs against me.
MRMs against you?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Are you the one who's been sending the invites?
No, I'm the one who's in the same channel as you.
You're where?
in the same channel as you.
Same channel.
Yeah, here.
I know Pop is here. But he wants to duel me with MRMs, is that it?
Yeah, you can take an Atlas. I'll take an Atlas.
I don't have an Atlas with MRMs ready to go though. I'm trying to think, what do I have?
Well,
I have an
you-
archer. I have an archer ready with MRMs. I think.
Well, I'm gonna go and I have an Atlas with MRMs.
Okay. I have an archer with MRMs, so we'll be good. Okay, so for those who don't know, we got medium range missiles now for the inner sphere. They work a little bit different than the other missiles, not too much. They're basically dumbfire missiles, so they don't need lock-ons. The downside to them is they only do 1 damage per missile, so this launcher does 30 damage, which sounds like a lot, but unfortunately they work just like SRMs in the fact that they spread. So the farther away from your target, the more they spread. They're okay. I think they're okay. They're nothing special, but I think they're okay. But we'll see how it goes. So I need to invite Pop to a group.
You're gonna win with that neck.
Oh, no, you're gonna do this. Say what?
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm only
that's
gonna
my
be
build, man. I love that.
I'm only gonna be using the MRMs, I think. Well, we'll see what he's actually in, but yeah.
You can take your 100 tons.
Can take it what?
He says you can take 100 times.
Incoming
No,
message.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And what was the name?
Yeah, JW, they're like longer range SRMs. They're the LRM that everybody wanted to be able to direct fire. I think. Like if we had these as direct fire LRMs, I think a lot more people would have used LRMs back in the day. But they fix a lot of missile mechs as far as having the capacity to do something at a medium range instead of just being a brawler.
Yeah, the missiles go out to what, 450? Or is it 500? Well, we'll see.
I'll look.
Well, if you win, I will be forever ashamed.
Forever ashamed, you should be. If I beat anybody in any mech, you should be ashamed.
450.
450. Okay.
Is the max range.
450. Okay. So, but for tonnage-wise, I think the MRMs are good. Damage, they're okay. Like I said, the tricky part is they are. They don't come out like regular inner sphere mechs. Is usually, inner sphere long range missiles, streaks, and SRMs. They all come out at once. If you fire 6 SRMs, they go bam, they're out. 20 LRMs, bam, they're out. MRMs, they come out in a stream, just like the clan mechs missiles do. and that's probably their downfall. But what it does allow you to do, though, is because you do have to lead at range. So because they do stream out with the bigger amounts like the 30s and the 40s, it gives you a chance to correct a little bit before all the missiles are out. So if you're a little behind or a little in front, when you're leading somebody, you get a quick, if you're quick enough, you can adjust. But there's no guarantee there. And Raging Turkey 666, thank you for the follow. Are these real people? Or are we still getting ghost followers?
It's real life.
Yeah. Open bay doors.
Bay doors now open.
I think the MRMs fit a need that was needed for a lot of the missile mechs because they were limited to either lock on LRMs or SRMs. Streaks, before we only had Streak 2s. Maybe we'll see some different Streak builds with IS. I kind of doubt it. I think it's mostly going to be MRMs and SRMs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because LRM boats still have a role.
They do, but with MRMs, I can get up closer. I can do damage a little bit easier, I think, than LRMs. I think there'll still be people that play LRM mechs, but I think the days of lots of LRM mechs on a team might be.
Oh well, you don't see those that much anyway. But LRMs still have a role because of that whole missile lock thing.
Yeah.
That's you're going to do more damage with LRMs at range than you are with MRMs, because of the aiming factor. I mean, again, it's going to depend on your play style and how you're doing it, because you got to remember, LRMs you can lob over friendlies. When you're even at 300 meters away, you can still lob, those LRMs over friends.
Yeah.
You can't lob the MRMs.
But LRMs you're still dedicating a pretty good amount of weight to be able to lob and then spin it on them. I don't know.
Yeah, but you get more missiles.
JW says you need to pick a grid coordinate.
Yeah, that's true. Pop, where are you? I ran over here as fast as possible, and you're not anywhere close to your base, and you're a 100-tonner, so I'm kind of worried. There you are. Oh, how'd you get over there so fast? So as you can see, the range.
No, I am getting worried.
Go to the center where all the fights in this map happen.
I'm going. Motherfucker.
ATMs are a bigger competitor for what niche LRMs have. Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, that's clan tech, though. That's it for the
That's
clan
the
side
thing,
of
though.
things.
I think if you're gonna want it that kind of gameplay, you'll just go to ATMs on clan stuff. I think the pure IS players might have an LRM on there, but I mean, for the ranges that most MechWarrior Online games happen at least in pug matches, I think you're safe bringing MRMs out.
No, different functions. Because like MRMs are brawler weapons. LRMs are fire support. You sit back behind your friends or behind a rock and you do your stuff. MRMs you have to be out in the open.
To get within 450. Yeah, you have to get within 450 of them.
Yeah.
I think you're talking too much.
No. So the sound of MRMs. So hot. So hot. See, brawler weapon right up there and close. Although we're getting an Atlas. He's
Waiting.
waiting. Oh, he got one. Wow, he still had. See, this is the downside here of MRMs, is he's still got a lot of armor up there because the missiles are being spread around so much.
Yeah.
I cannot shoot this to you right now.
I ended up taking 2 of those mediums off of my balance. Just to have extra heat tank.
I'm cooking myself really well there.
Yeah.
I got a little too anxious.
Soul Slicer is still going on. They're just he's showing MRMs because Pop had to go, so they wanted to play
Yeah.
a little bit.
Pop wanted to kill me. Just a second.
I think MRMs will bring back some mechs from the brink of non-existence.
So what's this published stats?
Oh, you can publish your. It's a thing where you can show that I did this in a private match, so that people can have like their tournaments and stuff.
Oh, it
They
pop.
can say, "Here's what I did," official from the thing.
So put it in the
And then-
clipboard.
Yeah, and that match ID.
What? Okay, so I'm confused.
It's for tournaments. When
So-
they're playing in private.
So match
It's
ID is.
some kind of thing they have set up. Yeah.
So would you just go
Yeah,
to your profile and get it from there?
It copied it to the clipboard, so then you
No, it
just
didn't.
paste it somewhere.
It copied the number,
Yeah,
but not what
I
actually.
guess I don't know how it all works. I just know
Okay.
it was something I read in the notes. It was something for tournaments where, like, both sides could post the match ID, and then it could kind of prove that those were the actual stats that happened in the match.
Okay. And hey, Soul Slicer, no, you have not. We are actually not quite done yet. Pop had to go. He wanted to kill me before he had to leave. And Jeff, does one need premium time? No, not anymore. For private matches, you do not need premium time
Incoming
anymore.
message.
I can still kill you again.
Can you? Do you really want to?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, and Onyx, some people were already talking about like the Trebuchet 5J, which only has one missile hardpoint, but the missile hardpoint is a 20 slot one, right? And it has jump jets and it has 5 energy slots. Using like an MRM40 in that is now way more viable than putting like one LRM20 in it or an SRM6, right? Now that's way more firepower. So with limited slots, with mechs that maybe weren't great at SRMs, but if they had a little bit of distance, you know, they wouldn't get just completely eradicated. Those are the type of things I think MRMs are going to be great for, and I think they're a good addition.
So, Kimby, what would you like me to have?
Whatever you want. You're gonna kill me, so it doesn't really matter. Whatever you want.
Probably not. I will be taking something different.
Sigart, you don't understand why not both factions just got all the weapons. What do you mean all the? Why didn't they get all the same weapons? Because of lore. The clans in the inner sphere don't really have the same weapons for quite a while still, I think. And even then, I'm not even positive about that. I'm not very up on my BattleTech lore past 3050, to be honest.
If they didn't have the lore, though, Sigurd, you wouldn't have these mechs. Everything would be a completely different game.
Lore makes games more interesting, Sigurd. Lore gives us a reason to understand why we are in the things that we're in, what they have. That's the point of lore. It's to put a reference point. Because it's easy to get a reference point, or you don't need lore so much in, say, a historical game like World of Tanks or World of Planes or whatever. You don't really need lore so much because it's part of our, it's real life type stuff, so we're familiar with it already. With a game with made up stuff like BattleTech, you need lore in order to understand why things are the way they are. Why do we have? Go ahead.
You're saying lore breaks balance, though. Now
No, it
It's
doesn't.
No. The problem is that if you have a complete balanced system, then you end up playing TF2, right? You have one spy team, you have one, etc. Everybody can have the same stuff, Or do you have it where everybody fires one pistol? Everybody has a 1911, and you run around and shoot each other, and you have one hit point, and everybody has a 1911.
Open doors.
It makes
Bay
it
doors now
makes it
open.
boring. The variety makes it more exciting. You have some different stuff you can do. People like messing around with the mech base and stuff. If you like to kill, that sort of thing.
Ah! Just put all my LRMs over his, or MRMs over his head. Oh, he's breaking out the 20, cheater.
the cool stuff is that's well, use IS then. I mean, nothing's keeping you from using IS. If you think that rotaries are cool, get an IS mech and use rotaries. If you want that faction warfare stuff, then you're talking about war. So I mean, like clan gets a lot of good stuff too. So.
I could have swore I just had seismic go off. Why am I getting blips?
You only play faction? Oh, well, I mean, use the new stuff that clan did get.
Cheater. Using the
Boom.
UX 20 on me.
Yeah, I had that UX.
Yeah, see, cheater.
It is just so good.
Uh-huh. Well, I did almost 300 damage at least. So, why am I getting red blips on my mini-map? I don't have seismic on this, I don't. Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Never mind. I do. Because I have the ECM skills. That's why. I went and I said screw it.
I don't know. I don't think the ATMs suck, Cigarette. I think those are interesting.
ATMs don't suck. They're different. Again,
Yeah.
I like the ATMs because they give you a choice between brawling or long range. I mean, if you go the long range route, it's not necessarily the smartest way to go because you're not maximizing your damage, but you still have that chance. You have that choice if you want it. If somebody doesn't want to engage you up close, fine. I'll stick at 500 meters and I'll pelt you or pep you with missiles. I mean, yeah, you don't have a lot, but you can still do it. And it's not necessarily the best use of the ATMs, but you can do it. I actually kind of like the ATMs. They're a little warm, but I need more time. I say again, I just need more time to play video games. Anybody want to give me $1 million so I can take a year off or something?
If I had it just to throw at you, I would. But I do not. I'm sorry.
Yeah. ATMs have minimum, 120. That's not that bad. You can brawl with that, easy.
ATMs do bracketed damage, Jeff. They're more damage closer, and then they have a medium range that does a little bit less damage, and then a far range does the least damage. I think it was 3 up close or something damage per missile, right, Gibby?
It's 3 damage from 120 to 270.
Right.
And then from 270 to, I think, 540, it's 2. And then 540 plus to 1100, it's 1. I think
Right.
I think it's 540. And
Pretty
not a
good.
year, Ball of Fire. Just $1 million, I'd be able to take a couple of years off and play video games full time for a little bit. That's all. I wish I could convert my C-bills to dollars. That would be awesome. Hell, even at $1 per 10 C-bills, that would be, or 100 C-bills, that'd be awesome. Open bay doors.
Again, it's lights that hug
Bay
you.
doors
It's
now
lights that
open.
hug you. You use little bitty weapons. I mean, that's just all. That's the best you can do.
You can't use them against lights.
You can't
Well,
hit
you can't use LRMs against lights that hug you either. So
Right.
you can't use racks against lights that hug you. You can't use UACs like 20s very effectively or 10s very effectively against lights that hug you. Hell, if you're an assault light hugs you, you can't do shit about it. And that's just the way the game is. It's got flaws.
Yeah, see, Old Onyx is saying, one ATM 9 does 27 damage in its best bracket,
Yep.
which is short range, but not super short.
Hey,
To me,
those
that's
aren't.
amazing for one weapon doing that. I don't know how much they weigh.
That hurt.
What hurt?
Oh no, I passed out.
Did you? It seems like you're not taking any damage. This thing is so damn hot.
Yeah, it's because you have 6 of your mediums.
Well, even
You
with
could
just the
probably-
missiles, it's hot.
Well, I mean, if you toned it down to regular medium or took some of those energy weapons off and you could cover it.
Oh, you got one of my MRNs there, bastard. And I screwed that up. I thought I'd lost lasers.
Only for now, Stigart, because of the new stuff. As soon as the new stuff wears off, I think we'll even out some more. I think right now there's a lot more people trying all the new IS stuff than what the clans got. I think over time, you'll see it'll even out.
Not part of the next new cryptocurrency.
Because, yeah, I only just wanted, but also, never mind.
Jeff, just ship me some doll hairs to make me happy. No, they're not doll hairs, they're dollars.
I saw you died, and then I had no one to shoot at. And then I won.
Oh, rockets. We still haven't used rockets here, have we? I forgot about the rockets. Did
Yeah, a lot of the new IS stuff is stuff the clans already had, so it's just IS catching up and then people flocking to the new and shiny, I think.
Go for assault mech, Kimbe.
An assault? I don't even know what I have. It's got new tech on it.
Atlas 7S with all rockets and the 4 slots.
Okay, I'll try this.
Yeah, Jeff, there's a lot of ISS targeting computers now, but I don't know how many people are going to use those because of the weight that they're at.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I bet. Yeah.
The inner-sphere targeting computers aren't as useful as the clans because the clans use them to fill up space and weight. For IS, you would have to be. I mean, I guess you could use the same argument, but it's so unlikely that that's going to be the case in most cases. You're going to be picking a targeting computer because you actually want to take advantage of it, not because you have some space to fill up.
Annihilator, maybe I have one to be useful. I have one on my my Bounty Hunter 2 build just because I can't fit. I have 4 tons and kind of nothing to use it on. I can't really upgrade the engine or anything. The weapons are kind of maxed out. The slot issue, the weight issue, so I put a
Pop.
targeting 4 in there.
Pop is stream sniping me, by the way.
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't you?
he's laughing at me in chat, in the chat in the game because he's stream sniping me. He knows what I'm in.
I looked even with stream snapping again. You might notice soon.
Let's see how rusty I am in this. Measure just as much as mostly goes in the head. Well, I don't know, Onyx. That's the thing. It seems like on an IS mech, I seem to be, squeezing as much tonnage out of weapons and stuff as you can. The target computer is not always the best choice. I mean, sometimes for IS things, that extra tonnage has got better use as a heat sink or more ammo, depending on the build. But target computer isn't.
Yeah, but if you had 1 slot and 1 ton, and you didn't have a ballistic weapon where you could just throw another more ammo in there, like he's old Onyx is saying, put the targeting computer 1 in there in the head or something, and then just let it ride, see what you can get.
Yeah, I guess, but again, it's how often does that actually happen with an IS mech?
It's usually the bigger ones because you're running out of slots before you're running out of weight type thing. That's what I've run into.
Oh, see, I don't. If anything, it's my, well, not necessarily the assaults, but some of the heavies. You run into issues where you run out of space. Not weight, but space.
Yeah, that's why I put it in that Marauder. Because I have 4 tons, but only 4 slots, and I don't need that much ammo. So I went ahead and put a target computer.
Okay, where did he go? What?
I don't know.
He's not streaming, so how would you know where he went?
I don't know.
thought on the new armor types. The half Pharaoh
Like
is
Pharaoh,
actually
yeah.
pretty useful. I found that to be pretty useful. If you've got the 7 slots and you're looking for like a half a ton of space for something, that you might as well go that route, because you know you don't always have a use for it. I mean, there's been a couple of times, I think it was on Saturday, where I could have taken Pharaoh, but it wasn't going to get me anything significant. So I just said, screw it, I'm not going to spend any C-bills on that. And but as far as but there were a couple of instances where I put it on because it was going to get me either a slightly bigger engine or a little bit more armor or ammo, and or that's the way it is. And I had an abundance of slots left. I had like 7 to 9 slots left, so I had space for it. Might as well get the tonnage. Why is there? The video is still up and running.
Yeah, they've been complaining about the crash
Really?
from the fire sound. Yeah, well, not complaining, but commenting.
I didn't even notice it. I don't hear it. That's the problem, is I don't
Yeah.
hear it.
Stealth armor, I think, is very situational.
Very, very situational.
Very
It's
situational.
yeah, it's like 1 or 2 maps.
1 or 2 mechs, I think, even.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You put it on. You're not going to put it on an Atlas. You're not going to put it on any bigger ECM capable mechs because you're giving up possible Pharaoh for it.
Or weapons, even.
Or weapons. Yeah, that's weapons. It's no, you're not weapons because it doesn't take up any more. Oh wait, does it?
Took up some slots.
It takes up slots, but not weight.
Right, but you're also, if it's on, you're not dissipating heat.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the big one. That's the big
something
one.
weapon running.
And the reason I'm saying only certain maps is because it makes you invisible to heat vision, right? How many maps do you run heat vision on? 2, 3, maybe.
Some
So
people run them on a lot. I don't like fog and stuff. Yeah, I don't like myself. But predator vision is a good thing for some people, evidently. I think the stealth armor is only useful for lights and a couple of fast mediums like a cicada maybe. Hey, pretty baby. I love my pretty baby.
oh, look at them dancing around me.
It's a neat build though.
Oops.
Please stop saying
I
oops.
like the laser aim.
You are making me look
Because
bad.
if you got a mech that can handle the heat anyway, it's pretty nice. Same cost weight wise as a bat, and you're throwing AMS on it.
Finally. Had a 20-ton advantage, but finally.
You killed me, Chippy!
I know. You only killed me how many more times before that? 3, 4? Wow, 500 damage on that too. 500 damage all over the place. See, so in this case, Rack 5's not really a brawling weapon, as we're discussing here. I mean, it worked out here because he kept backing off a little bit, so it was giving me time to cool down a little and try and not. I didn't jam the 5s at all, so that was a big plus. But it was really warm. And of course, not the coolest map either. But for brawling, they can work in certain situations, but not the best brawling weapons by a long shot. But I was using the 10s too quite a bit. But thank you for letting me kill you.
No problem.
Well, we didn't actually talk about any of the clan weapons, and I do
We
need
didn't
to.
talk about rockets either.
Oh, that's right. I don't have any mechs that are set up for rockets.
Honestly, I think rockets are one of those weapons where if you have a mech in a couple times and missile slots, then you throw them in, and if you don't, then you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
talking about the X5 Cicada hero. It has 2 missile slots that very rarely gets used because it's 4 energy and you put mediums or whatever in that.
Yep.
And he was saying he was going to put rockets on those because they have a 22 count on a Cicada. So if you ended up behind an assault, you just unload from the rear end of it.
So you could put a rocket 15 in here. That's crazy. Okay, so I didn't actually look at the stats here. But we didn't talk about rocket. Did the clans get rockets too, or is it just IS? Just IS, okay. So, rockets, as you can see, they're light. They're one-shot weapons. The rocket 10 does 17.5 damage. The 15, 26, and the 20, 35. Sounds like a lot, but they did when they first on the test server. The first time we saw them, their spread wasn't very much. They tweaked that a little bit, so I think the muscle spread now is what 4.7, 4.7, and 4.7. So the missile spread is.
And they gave him a minimum range.
Yeah. Did they give him minimum range?
Yeah, I forget how low it is. It's really low.
It doesn't. The information doesn't say anything about minimum range. Oh wait a minute. Yeah, there it is.
The little graph.
The bar. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it looks like it's under 90 or right around 90 maybe.
50 meters is what they're saying.
50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
ATM minimum range is 50 meters.
So if you're looking at the spread here on the rockets, the SRMs have a 4 spread. Rockets are 4.7. MRMs are 4.5. LRMs are 5.2. So not a good spread, which is good. Probably a good idea because people were running around with these things. They were loading up like 3 or 4 rockets of like 20s or the 15s, and they just trying to one-shot people. Very, one-trick
That's what
pony
they put
type
the
stuff.
minimum-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they put the minimum on, is because of that.
Yeah.
It was basically the beef was going around one-shotting assaults, and they go, we gotta make him back off a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know, I think they're very situational myself. I don't
Yeah.
see myself using them very often.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's a one-shot thing, so basically you'd be seeing somebody running around in a fast light or fast medium and trying to sneak behind somebody and one-shot them. That's basically what we would be trying to do. And good luck. 50 meters minimum, that means...
Right, but the 20 is only a ton and a half. See, so...
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's viable on really situational things. Like I said, like the X5, the guy was talking about, 3 tons and you're doing that damage, one time with an X5 where you might get behind somebody and just freaking unload on them. To me, that's worth it. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, I can put it over there. Okay,
You
it's
put together
almost...
an archer with 3 large pulse and 5 rocket 20s. Oh my goodness.
What?
Ray City says he put together an archer with 3 large pulse lasers and 5 rocket 20s.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, this one, oh, you can easily do that. What did I put an arc on there for? So how about 3 rocket 20s and a 15? Sorry, 6 rocket 20, 6 20 rocket 20s and a 115. Only cost me $500,000 seagulls.
Yeah. In scouting, or maybe a faction play way, if you knew that was what everybody was doing, maybe.
Yeah.
But see, then again, if it's one of those things where you can pack on a bigger energy weapon if you took rockets instead of SRMs, then that's where I think, in a light where your every ton counts.
Look at my screen, or look at my stream.
That's ridiculous, Larry.
It's, It's not even showing what's in the shoulders. There's
You
40.
gotta open up
There's
your-
40 more in the shoulders.
I wish you could open the bay doors in the mech bay.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
They're, the catapult doors and everything.
Okay, let's see what this actually does real quick to something. Okay, after we do this, I have to go eat my dinner. It's getting late, so this will be fun. And we didn't, like I said, we didn't really talk about the clan weapons too much. See what is there's the micropulses, which I have no experience with. Heavy lasers are, I think, a flavor specific to certain people. I think. Heavy smalls don't make sense to me. Heavy mediums are actually probably the best of the group as far as usability. Heavy larges are so friggin' hot and slow to burn. They can be useful, but man, they're hard to use correctly.
It seems to me they'd be better like on a mech where you don't have a lot of energy points.
So I think I can kill this cataphract with one shot here.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, you overheat and it didn't kill him.
Oh, really?
That was 75 rockets and it did not kill him.
Because of the spread.
Yep. Almost cored him though. Well,
Yeah, you got all of his torso lit up pretty good.
yeah. That was an overheat. So, yeah. That's a lot of rockets though. But the spread
But
was
now
pretty
you're
bad.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
now
done.
you're
I
done, too.
I am worthless now. To the rest of the team, I am worthless. Beat the hell out of the
If that was
out of
the one on
cataphract.
one, you would have lost. See, that's
Oh yeah.
If you got behind him, it'd have been dead.
But I beat the crap out of him. Did beat the crap out of him. Actually, I probably could have killed him if I would have saved the arms.
Ball of Fire's asking if you had chain fired them or like fired them one after another.
I don't
would
know.
They have spread as much as one alpha.
Let's find out. Science. Science.
And try to get like just over 50 meters and see if that makes a difference too.
Yeah, that's because I was open was what 150.
You're 100,
Yeah.
yeah. But you get like 55 and see if that makes a difference. As far
Cheat
the
as much as
spread.
possible.
Right. You know, maximize what the weapon system could do.
Yeah.
Because if you were like a light, you would try to get right up to her end. I think that's why they, put the 50 meters on it, because it was, you really couldn't spread anything when it's point blank. So you can fire 2 rocket 10s with no ghost heat. All the other types you cannot group at all without ghost heat.
Ah. So override then.
Heavy smalls sync with SRM6 cooldowns, so they're decent-ish on tonnage star crawlers.
Heavy smalls in SRM 6s.
Yeah.
But that's a cooldown thing. That's not a range thing. That's the problem there. So we want to chain fire this time.
Murphy is great. That's probably the thing that saves MWO from me playing it, is being able to mess with that.
Okay, just over 50 meters. Wow, 50 meters is actually still.
It is close. It's pretty
It's not
close.
that close. That's pretty
pretty
decent.
close.
That's pretty decent distance, though. That's not that close.
Oh, I gotta go. See you later.
See you, Pop.
See ya, Pop. Thank you for participating. Thanks for killing me. Appreciate it. I know you had fun. Okay. Yeah, spread is not affected by chain fire at all. That's the spread on those is horrible. Hell, I did less damage. I did less damage.
It makes me wonder if there's an optimal spot to be in range-wise then.
So 50 meters is too close. Because it was doing damage, but it was... I don't know. That's really big spread. I mean, I did less damage there chain firing.
Yep.
they're definitely horrible weapons. Definitely, you're not going to get a counter argument out of me for that one. I mean, they're not good weapons. I said that from the very beginning.
Their one-shot LBX is really what it comes down to.
Oh, don't install LBXs like that.
LBX at like a big range. Let's put it that way.
I mean, LBXs have better spread than that. That was just bad.
Depends on what range you're at. Like with a 10, if you back up to like 300 meters, it's pretty much what the rocket at 55 is doing.
They've changed the LBXs. They've got a much better spread now.
Really?
Yeah, they
Even
changed
now?
them a while back. They're not that
Is that
bad.
with the skills though on too?
No.
Or not?
No, I'm talking before they came out with the skill tree.
I need to take my legend killer back out there.
Yep, because I ran 4 LBX-10s on like a Mauler or a couple other, Night Gears, not Direwolves, Kodiaks, run 2s on the Legend Killer. The spread
Is the spread different? Is the spread different between clans and IS?
No,
or
it's about the same.
Is it not?
It's about the same. So that was very, meh. I mean, the 50 meters didn't seem to matter. I wonder if it's... Okay, just one more
Yeah,
for
but what about
science.
for the tonnage? The amount of damage you're doing for 1.5 tons.
Yeah, but at 52 meters, it was nothing. It was less than what it was before, so... I'm
Right.
wondering if 50 meters is not the real minimum.
Is there an assault on that map where you could shoot it in instead of the heavy?
Yeah, there's an
That
Atlas.
might matter a little bit.
There's an Atlas around here somewhere.
Yeah, most things are okay. Zuckus, I think rockets are the kind of the weaker one, but they were situational anyway. And even in the lore, the rockets are like this cheapo weapon that the periphery uses in place of expensive systems.
Yeah, if you were hurting for money, and you couldn't
Right.
afford to put a real missile launcher on there, you would use rockets.
Yeah, if you had a missile hardpoint and you had 1.5 tons left, maybe a rocket launcher. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've lost everything else, and all I have left is this one rocket, and I've got to kill this general with one lucky shot. That would be it.
That would be a terrible situation.
Of course, it would be a terrible situation, but it's a
You'd
possible
probably use
situation.
your rocket before that.
Probably.
You'd probably use your rocket before that.
Probably.
Like if I was in an X5 with 4 medium lasers and 2 rocket launcher 20s, I would probably spam those rocket launcher 20s on the biggest thing I saw first, just to try to eradicate some armor. Especially
Hey.
if I was on his rear end.
Hey, Jilla, welcome back. Just in time for basically the end of the stream, just so you know. I might as well start doing my little spiel here. But thank you guys for coming out watching. Much appreciated. I haven't said this all stream. Follow appreciation stream is going to be, the first one is going to be August 2nd, which is a week from this Wednesday. There'll be a second one on August 5th, which is a Saturday. I have 5.
Incoming message.
Castro, thank you for the follow. I have 5 $20 Steam wallet codes to give out. Depending on how many people are around on Wednesday will determine how many I give out that day. It's going to be either 2 or 3, depending on how many people are watching, and whatever is left over will be given out on Saturday. And again, this is for followers of the stream, so make sure you are a follower before you try to, because there are going to be buy-in requirements, meaning that you're going to have to spend at least 200 neurons or points per giveaway if you want a shot at winning. That's all, just 200 points. And the reason for that is to keep the vultures away as much as possible, because the follow appreciation stream is not about new people that come in just looking for free stuff. It's about people that have come back to the channel multiple times. You actually want to be here, because I'm an awesome gamer. I never make mistakes. I'm perfect. And if you've been here long enough, you know that's a joke. That's the biggest joke probably on the face of the planet. So, again, that's August 2nd and August 5th. The bot has been saying that, and stuff has been popping up on the screen. I have not been saying it myself. So, yeah. But your gimpy bucks. What about your gimpy bucks? You're trying to get me to increase. Are you, Jaguar? That's the first time I've heard that. That's the first time I've heard you say that. Okay, so I'm going to get out to 100 meters on this Atlas
Oh yeah, okay.
and just see.
I'm just wondering if it's like
That's
you
a
know,
f-
does
100
geometry
meters is
say-
pretty far.
Yeah.
50 meters is pretty far. Okay, we'll get to 52 or 51-ish, whatever.
100 meters is usually my max or SRMs, you know, so.
Yeah. Man, that's... Okay, so, chain fire. That didn't do any damage to him.
Well, considering he has a lot more armor.
Yeah, but his armor didn't even flicker.
No damage.
That armor did
Weird.
not flicker at 52. Let's do 75. There we go. 75, it did damage.
Interesting.
65. 64. Just in
Maybe
case.
since you were maybe the 2 meters was made up by your arms.
It didn't need to come from the
Right?
arms. It came from the side
Oh,
torsos.
well, I don't know, man.
Do 55. $55 is doing damage. 50 is no damage. 51 is no damage. 53 is damage. So 51 meters was no damage. Yep. Go way back.
Oh yeah, it is 48 on the reticle, not on the targeting. See, to the right of the reticle, it says 48 meters when you're at 53 for the
Oh.
targeting computer.
Well, that doesn't make... So you're trying to tell me there's a meters difference between where the...
Because the Atlas is that big, I guess, so it's shooting from the outside instead of the center point, which is where the targeting computer
Okay.
is going off of.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense then, I guess. Okay.
I mean, how thick is an Atlas, right?
Apparently it's that thick.
Right?
Apparently it's
At least
that
from
thick.
the middle to the front.
Okay. So that'll be it for the fireside chat. Thank you, Barantor and Papaco, for coming out and keeping me company and talking about stuff. Much appreciated. I think it went fairly well there. I think we covered it. We didn't cover everything. I mean, we didn't really talk about the clan weapons much, but simply, I mean, we've been going for like 3 hours, so
Right, there's a lot of stuff.
there's a lot of stuff to talk. I mean, we talked about the 4 new mechs. That took about 45 minutes.
Yeah, at least.
Right around there. And then the IS weapons took a while. They definitely took a while. Lot to talk about. Lot to talk
They
about.
didn't get to the equipment either, like the
No.
AMS or whatever.
Yeah, there's so like I said, equipment stuff. There's new targeting computers, which we're kind of talking about, but we didn't really look at them. Miscellaneous. No. There's no AMS. There's laser AMS that's in there, and my honest opinion of laser AMS is why bother? Because it generates heat, and for the same tonnage you get AMS with a ton of ammo. So, but no heat. Otherwise they're identical. They're, as far as their function, their range, their rate of fire, it's all identical. The only difference is the lasers generate heat and they have no ammo. And in all honesty, I'd rather have the regular AMS. Simply because of the no heat. So, yeah. Oh yeah, light tag. Light tag. I think that's only
Plan on that.
that's a clan thing.
Yeah.
And it's basically just a half range. It's a half maximum range tag for half the tonnage, right? Let's see, where's Jaguar? Let's just take one of these guys. And of course, I picked the one, my only Jaguar that doesn't have an energy hardpoint on it. So, light tag, there we go. So light tags for clans, half a ton. Range is 450 as opposed to 750. And otherwise, as far as I know, they're the same thing. So it's just half of the range for half the tonnage. Why would you get that? I don't know. I guess if you had an extra half a ton you didn't want to worry about, that would be it. As far as clan weapons go, we didn't really discuss the heavies. I think the heavy medium laser is the most useful out of the group. So for overall usefulness, for 1 ton, it's doing 10 damage as opposed to regular medium, which is 7. But the range is big difference in range too, I think.
Tarkus is saying maybe for street boat light tag.
Street boat? Yeah, that would make sense actually.
Yeah, might work. Yeah.
For a street boat, because the
ATMs?
clans, the clan ATMs. No, for ATMs, I would
Well-
still want a regular one.
Well, no. What's the maximum damage range, right? For ATMs is
ATMs is 1100
right?
meters.
No, with the maximum damage you get for the
Oh,
is the
sorry.
close one, yeah.
Yeah,
So like if you had a light tag for just when it's in that range, I don't know.
yeah. Again, for most cases, it's only half a ton. It's not that big. I'd rather have the full range tag. If you're running ATMs, I would rather have the full,
Yeah.
because the missiles can go that range, so you might as well get it. Not that you're necessarily going to be using them, but I would find it better.
Incoming message.
And Ranny Benatti, thank you for the follow. But anyway,
Awesome name.
so like I said, the heavy lasers, the heavy large, very hot. Maximum range, they actually optimal range of 450 is not too bad. But the heat of 16, damage of 18, heat of 16. It's a good trade-off for damage to heat, but that's a lot of heat. So, and it's a long burn time too. 1.55. That's a long time. 1.45 for the mediums and 1.2. So the heavy's got a longer burn times, but I think the heavy medium is the easiest, is probably the best out of the group, as is pretty much the case of every laser anyway. Mediums are usually the best. Micro laser, why? Why?
The heavy large I could see on a clan with if you had one energy hard point, an Omnipod. And you had
No, I've used them, and the burn time is a second and a
ridiculous.
half. It's forever.
Okay.
It takes forever. I mean, ER larges are what?
Even like a gargoyle or something, maybe that you were going to be in brawl face range anyway.
Well, here's the question you ask yourself: do you think the clan large ER larges has a long burn time, and is it acceptable to you? If it's not, you don't want to run a heavy large, because a heavy large is even a longer burn time
No,
by
okay.
by 0.2 of a second. So, which doesn't sound like a lot when you say 0.2 of a second, but in reality, it's very noticeable, very noticeable. So, it's like I say, if you can't tolerate long burn times, you definitely want to avoid the heavy lasers in general, because they just got they're longer. You got to hold target that much longer. So if you're running and they're running, heavies spread damage everywhere. It's also barely more than an ER medium. What, the damage on a heavy medium? 10. It's 10 to 7, isn't it? 3 points. Heat is a little
He
bit
was saying
worse.
heavy large lasers work well with ER medium than UAC 10s as far as burn time.
Oh, because the 10s of their cycle time.
Yeah. Burn time versus ER medium for the heavy large lasers. I guess.
It's 1.25 versus 1.55. It's 0.2 of a second. That's forever. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but in practice, when I've used them, did they change the burn times on the heavy lasers or something? Because when I've used them, they feel like they're lasting forever.
10 because of the double tap times. Yeah, that makes sense.
It used to be easy as clan, just take large pulses and done. That's pretty much the same rule, I think, Zuckus. I don't think that rule has changed. Large
Yeah,
pulses are
ATMs
still...
bad, I guess. Yeah, right.
Large pulses are still awesome. I mean, just over a second burn time for 12 damage. The heavy is 18, but it's a 1.55. It's half a second longer, just about. And for oh, sorry, the tonnages. The heavy large laser is only 4 tons. How'd that happen? How is a large pole? Ugh.
That's the thing, is the burn time's more, but then the weight is.
They reduced the time a little since PTS. Okay.
Jeff wonders if the wife was kind enough to keep Kimpy's meal by the fire to keep it warm. You said bye like 10 minutes ago.
I know I did. I know I did. I got sidetracked. I am a squirrel tracer. Just plain and simple. I am as bad as the dogs. You show me a squirrel and I will chase it. Anyway, with that point, we can discuss this stuff all day, I'm sure. But I gotta go. I gotta eat my dinner. It's past 6 o'clock here, and I need to go eat. I'm hungry. So thank you guys very much for coming out and watching today. Very much appreciated as always. Tomorrow is Tuesday. No patch. I guess I should play some MechWarrior Online for real. Maybe that's what I'll do. Oh, wait a minute. I still owe... No, okay. What I'll do is I'll do MechWarrior Online tomorrow, and then I'll do Shadow Mordor on Wednesday to make up for yesterday. Because I did not stream yesterday, because my brother was in town. Last minute, I swear to God, he called me at 6:30 at night on Saturday to tell me, hey, I'm in town. So that was a very much out of the blue type situation, so that's why I didn't stream yesterday. I thought I was going to be able to, but, you know, things happen. So, anyway, so tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, we'll be playing some MechWarrior Online. Maybe we'll put some of our discussion to test, maybe. We'll see. And then again, Shadow Mordor on Wednesday. Thursday, we don't know yet. Friday will be again the Lord of the Rings Online, where I play with the wife, and maybe Barantor here if he's available, because my wife always got questions for him.
It's fine. It is fine. I don't mind it at all.
You know, I should probably tell you that she never remembers your name.
That's fine.
She always gets it
I have
wrong.
a forgettable face too. Everyone. So
No, it's not the forget. It's because it what's funny is she combines your name and Boromir.
She can call me Boromir.
No, she melds them together.
Yeah.
So she calls you like Baromir or something like that. It's
That's fine.
hilarious.
I need to make that and see if that name is available now.
That would be
Boromir?
awesome. That would be awesome if
That
it
would be
is.
That would be.
But
Alright.
anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thank you all very much, and thank you again to Barantor and Papaco for coming out and participating in the chat here. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to send me a whisper or a message on chat to let me know. Because if you did, we'll do some more. We can do different subjects. Like I saw Jeff make a suggestion that I should do a chat to discuss how the bosses work in chat. Because apparently that's confusing. So, anyway, like I said, thank you guys. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for MechWarrior Online. Have a great evening, great day, have to be, and I will see you tomorrow.
Bye.